In the year 2022. I don't have a song for that. What the hell? Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Everyone, welcome. And Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Clobberers. Oh, wait, I should say it the right way. Happy New Year, Clobberers, on a very special Saturday night. Next week, Saturday night, Star Trek will continue. It'll return. It'll continue. Maybe I'll learn how to speak by then. I doubt it, but I don't care. You would think I was drunk on Arizona tea because that's what I have. The Arizona sweet tea. Yeah, I'm hitting hard stuff tonight. Well, wow. What a bunch of great, wonderful, clobbering friends I have here. Clobberin. Sorry, friends. Get that G out of there. I see before us tonight. Hello, my good buddies and dear friends. I hope you all had a fantastic. I hope you had a great New Year's Eve and are having a wonderful New Year's Day, night. Whatever you're doing. You got to be doing it better than me because I can't even talk tonight, but what the hell. The ever-loving brown-eyed thing is back to go for another year of clobbering. Who's with me? Who wants to clobber? And no, I can't see any new chats yet because I held the chat all the way to the back so I could say hello to all of you, my lovely friends, as we celebrate this New Year's night with a clobby special. I got a fun one for you, I think. But what do I know? You might not even like it. But you could lie to me and tell me that you do. Or no, look, hey, look. We're close enough friends right now, you can tell me it sucks. And I'll probably laugh and go, God, you're right, it really did. Oh, well, what the hell? You still hung out. Even though it sucked, we got to hang out. The suckage was there, but we still got to hang out. So it was having fun, even though it sucks anyway. That's kind of the way I like to look at it. I know that's a kind of sounds like a downer look, but if you really, really analyze it long enough, it's actually positive. It's like, he finds the great, wonderful positiveness in the suckage. So he doesn't even care if his show sucks because he got to hang out with his pals. And they were nice enough to tell him, hey, it sucks, man. Let's get off the suck stuff. This is a whole new year. I don't know. I was just dragging you guys right back into 2020, not 21. 2020 was, 21 was better than that. At least I thought, but then I got to make so many wonderful friends in 2021. Many of them you. I mean, I knew a few of you before that, but in 2021, it really just, so many of you amazing pals, jumped on here and it just exploded in terms of making fantastic friends on YouTube. So 2021 was a year where I made a lot of great friends that I just cherish. And that means all of you. And I can't catch up with the chat until I start saying my hello. So I'm going to do that right now. Hungry boy. What's up? But I know it's really hungry for Clobby to write graphic novels. Well, I'm on it. I'm writing one right now. No, I'm not. I just want to make you feel better for like a nanosecond and then just dash all of your hopes. Hungry boy, good to see you there, buddy. King Dolphin TV, Raymond, what's up, bro? Hope you had a great stream earlier. I got to hear a little bit of it lurking, but I've been running around doing a bunch of stuff. As usual, as I always do with these shows, when I don't know exactly what I want to do, this one came down to the wire, me getting it ready. It's pretty slapped together. It's nothing special, but, we're going to roll with it anyway. Snortapoopa Scuba is my wonderful first officer, the beautiful, magnificent Raquel Briggs, sis, Commander Raquel Briggs. And I miss her very much, and I can't wait to see her again soon. Let's see here. Janet from Another Planet. I can't sing the Janet, interplanet Janet thing the way Raquel does, but I can say, damn it, Janet, I love you. Because I know you know what that's from. New Year's Eve. Let's see. J-Man. Dude, here I was trying to get myself in a good mood. And you reminded me that I've already watched all of Cobra Kai and I have none left. I'm crying already, man. It's just people say, oh, why don't you watch a little bit at a time? You can save it that way. Easy for you to say. That show doesn't let you do that. Not me anyway. I was done with it by 4 a.m. This morning. So it's just not enough of it. Is it my fault that it's not enough of it? Come on. Great to see you, J-Man, buddy. You've been a great pal that I met this year, as many of you have. Let's see here. D. Bud Martin, the man of iron. What's up? What's up? I am Iron Bud. That's you. Let's see here. Chris Persia. Christopher, it is fantastic to see you, buddy. Always a pleasure to have you here, man. I'm always honored to see you there. Master of great wrenching. Oh, my goodness. The beautiful, wonderful, magnificent Purple Valkyrie. I love you, Purple. I know it's late over there. I hope you had a wonderful New Year's. You are just fantastic. And I cannot wait to hang with you again. And let's make it soon. Just hope you're doing well. I love you, love you, love you. I love Purple Valkyrie. She's again, one of the wonderful people. See, 2021 represents to me wonderful friendships. Whatever else happened in the year, and it wasn't perfect. It represents some wonderful new friendships. I got to meet a few people and toward the end of 2020, sure, but I got to solidify a lot of those friendships in some cases, and then meet a lot of new people in 2021 here, because of the channel, of course. And Purple is one of those that becomes just a wonderful dear friend of me and this show, and I just love it when we get to hang out. You're the best, Purple. Let's see here. Let's see here. Eli Gabolas. What's up, dude? Good to see you, man. Amazon Prime has dropped Star Trek 66 of 2005. So, they dropped them, huh? Well, to hell with them. Damn them. Decepticon, what's up, brother? Happy New Year, buddy. Sean's another great pal I made. He and J-Man are a fantastic duo, and they have a great channel. Please find their channel. And they're amazing. Another pal I got to meet fairly recently in 2021 was Mr. Grant Gregory. Hello there, Mr. Grant Gregory. I want on the other side of the globe. I hope that you are doing well, sir. I hope you and yours had a wonderful New Year's. Louise X Sparrow, my dear, lovely to see you. Thank you for popping in. I appreciate you. Michael Beacom, hello there, my good friend. It is great to see you. We always appreciate you. We can't wait to get Saturday Night Star Trek back on the road next week. Let's see here. I'm getting there. I'm getting slowly getting up to speed, folks. My chat's way behind because I want to see everyone. Eric K. The great Eric K. That is the Bronze Wrencher is here. Good to see you, amigo. I hope you're feeling better, brother. Let's see here. Always good to see you there, Kimosabi. Philbo Baggins. Hello there, Philbo Baggins. It is great to see you, my friend. Oh, Mr. Grant Gregory with a $2 super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. I am honored. You didn't have to do that. You were extraordinary. Bobby, 2022 for president. I'll run for president of this channel. I probably won't even win that election, to be honest, but I would probably lose an election for president of my own channel because everyone would vote for Raquel or even Mark, but I wouldn't blame them. I'd vote for them too, by the way. Mr. Grant Gregory, thank you so much for that. You were too kind, sir. Let's see. Yep. I'm just scrolling down. Badass brother. Good to see you there, buddy. Yes, Clobberin and his amazing friends. A new cartoon on next Saturday on NBC. ABC. Oh, whatever. ABC, followed by Schoolhouse Rock. There you go. Mr. Angel. Hello there, my friend. Good to see you. I hope you're having a wonderful New Year's Day. If it's still New Year's Day over there for you. Dadman Walking. What's up, buddy? Dadman and the Dadman clan. I hope you are all doing wonderful tonight, you and yours, buddy. Thank you for popping in here. I really appreciate you. It's great to see you. Another great friend I've made there. Well, you're all just such great clobberers. I mean, it's amazing. I'm the most fortunate man on YouTube making what a great just group of friends we've had here. Gomer Kyle. Hello there. Golly. I'm sorry, I can't help it. When I see the name Gomer Kyle, you know it's going to trigger me to do a stupid Jim Neighbors impersonation. But it's still, yeah. Shazam! Golly. I don't know. I'd apologize, but it would be insincere. Purple Valkyrie says she's in episode 7. Okay, well, at least you're pacing yourself better than I did. Whoops, it jumped on me. Listen, my chat's jumping on me, folks. I'm trying to get everybody here. All right, Eliga Bellis, you have to feed the cat there. Well, my brother, thank you for popping in. I appreciate you. It is good to see you, sir. For him, when you sleep clobber times, what do you think you are? Yeah, I'm as bad. I'm as bad, if not worse, than Tom Connors. In fact, quite frankly, I don't think I've slept in 2022 yet. I wasn't able to sleep after that, and I was doing other things. I may have dozed off. I'm not sure, but I don't think I've really slept yet. And I didn't do anything. I never go anywhere on New Year's Eve. I went outside and, hey, Steve Mitchum, what's up, bro? Good to see you, my brother. He's a fantastic friend, a longtime friend, and it's good to see you there, bro. I never do anything on New Year's Eve. All I did was walk outside and, take a video of some of the stupid fireworks and noises and stuff. That's about it. And all I did that just to show Mark how loud it gets out there. Fat Steven Seagal, what's up, buddy? Happy New Year to you, brother. Good to see you, man. Let's see. I'm getting to the end of it, folks, and I'll be caught up. It takes me a check. I always like to stop the chat so I can know who's here. I like to know who's here. Sometimes it jumps on me. The Darius Munchausen. Hello there, Darius Munchausen. Welcome, sir. Welcome to a special Saturday night clobby time with no Star Trek this week, but we'll get, next week we start back with our Star Trek review. Eric K. runs Wrencher with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, sir. I vote Raquel Clobby. You can be the foundation the channel is built on. Right on top of my dumb head, as a matter of fact. Thank you, bro. I'd vote for it, too. No question about it, man. Keely Chow, roll tide, buddy. I didn't get to see any football today. Did they roll? I don't know. Did they play? I think they played, didn't they? I don't have cable anymore. Mr. Grant Gregory, thank you again for that, sir. What's the most underappreciated Silver Age comic? If I had to guess, I would say that the Thunder Agents are. Because obviously everyone appreciates the Marvel stuff. I think obviously everyone appreciates, DC and the Silver Age wasn't as big as Marvel. But as far as, and I do like some of the DC stuff. There was, there's some I could probably also call underappreciated. But I'm going to go with the Tower Comics Thunder Agents stuff. Wally Wood created it, and he had a lot of great creators. I love Thunder Agents, and I think they're so vastly unappreciated. They were trying to give Marvel a run for their money and DC in the 60s, and it didn't work out. And they've changed hands so many times after they went out of business, that they're actually in the public domain now. But I love the Thunder Agents. I have a special place in my heart for them. So I'm going to go. I think I could just state as far as go with an off the wall choice. I would say the Thunder Agents from Tower Comics of the Silver Age would be, in my opinion, the most underappreciated Silver Age comic book, a series. And thank you so much for that $2 super chat, sir. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate the question. That's a great question, man. That's a great question. It's something I've never pondered, I've never even thought about which one was the most underappreciated. So that's great, man. I love the question. Let's see here. Let's see here. Well, I'm just trying to get down. Make sure I got everybody here, and I'm trying to get this chat up to speed so we can get on to other things here. Happy New Year. Oh, thank you so much. You were too kind, Dad, man. Thank you so much, buddy. I really appreciate that. Thank you, sir. For $10 super chat. You were too kind, my friend, and I really appreciated getting to know you over the last year. Happy New Year, sir. Yes, we are good here, and it was great to meet you. For one of the highlights of 2021. Well, you're too kind, my friend, and right back at you. Just remember to download your Fortnite updates, and it's great whether you hang out or play. The hanging out part I'm good at. The playing out I'm garbage at, of course. Oh, Happy New Year to you, Raymond Hill. Sorry about that, dude. Yes, I definitely shouted you out, buddy, and I hope you had a great stream today. Oh, Alabama played yesterday? Okay, I did not know that. Sorry, Steve. Yeah, Thunder Agents, man, all the way. Wally Wood's Thunder Agents. I love them. I love the Thunder Agents, bud. Oh, Purple, do you like that thumbnail? You know, I had to put you on there because you're an important part of the show to me. I was wondering if you would mind, but I wanted to just put you on there because you're special to the show. So, you've been a big part of my show to me this year, and I appreciate you. So, I'm glad you like it. I know it's a mishmash and it's kind of a crappy thumbnail because it's not really good resolution or anything like that, like all my other stupid thumbnails. But thank you so much for that. Love you. Well, let's see. Tonight, well, first I'll do a show note, of course, because it's always good to do those. As always, I want to do something, get those out of the way. Let's see, where, okay. In my link below, there are many links to many wonderful channels and other types of links, of course, for anyone who doesn't know. But here's the link, of course, to the wonderful works of fiction of my first officer who's here with me and will be back with me next Saturday night. And there it is. I just wanted to put that in there. She of course, has works available on Amazon. She does a much better job of describing it than me, but I wanted to put it out there. Of course, it's always in the description below, just as the channels of many of you fine friends are also in my description below for people to go. And I hope they all go follow you. I think pretty much, I'm fairly confident that everyone here follows all of us. We all follow each other and take care of each other from that respect. So anyway, but I just wanted to put that there. And show notes, let's see here. This Monday night Moxie Comics Talk. Mr. Hater of Remakes is sort of doing a remake of one of his old shows because it's just kind of something I haven't done in a while. I'm going to... hello there, Matthew Pounder. Good to see you. Welcome, my friend. Happy New Year. I'm going to do a countdown of my top 100 all-time favorite comics heroes. Revised. I'm messed around with the list a little bit, and I want to do it, take a lot more time, and to do it when I'm more prepared. And so it's going to be just as shocking as you can get. 100 of my 100, counting down my 100 favorite comic book superheroes. And again, the shock. I don't know if any of you will ever recover from the shock if you even bother watching it. And why would you really? But I'm going to do it anyway. What the hell? Because it'll be all kind of really cool images of great comic book characters and art and stuff like that. And that's how we roll around here. Let's see here. So I do villains, but I will do villains eventually. Max Redstone's here. What's up, bro? Limerick for 2022. Is everyone ready? Even though you can see it, of course. Well, Maxie Pounder, it's Kirby is number one for the comic book artists, but this is actually for the characters. Heroes, though, of comic book heroes and comic strip heroes are included in there. Limerick for 2022. Oh, here we go. Sorry, Limerick. 2022 is on track. Is on track. Let's hope we don't get put. Oh, all right. Let's see. Let me see if I can start over because I got to look at this more closely. I apologize, Max. 2022 is on track. Let's hope we don't get put on the rack as we leave the space station. Let's see the space. Oh, as we leave the space station, it's some consolation that Wesley is not coming back. It was some of the words were bunched there together a little bit, buddy, but that was excellent. I'll do it again, I'll do it really quickly. So we'll, since now I stumbled a couple times there. 2022 is on track. Let's hope we don't get put on the rack. As we leave the space station, it's some consolation that Wesley is not coming back. Big applause to the great Max Redstone. We always love his limericks on Saturday Night Star Trek. He's just extraordinary, and it's good to see you there, buddy. Hope you're having a wonderful New Year's Day night. I hope everyone has popcorn. I have popcorn here. I have M&Ms here. I have sweet tea here, Arizona sweet tea. So I am prepared. Now, my topic for this evening, and I don't know, I just thought, it's Saturday night. We should have some sort of little topic, I think. Just now bought Thunder Agents Volume 1 on eBay. Oh, reprint. Is that the archives? Because they have a couple of Thunder Agents archives. I would be interested in your opinion of that, Mr. Grant Gregory. It's what I love about the Thunder Agents, without being like spoiler or anything, is they're superheroes, but it's from a science fiction, more of a science fiction pulp standpoint rather than the fantasy thing. Hey, Dark Shadow Logan, what's up, brother? The Cabal is here. And I think you might enjoy it if you like Silver Age comics. Again, some people don't like the Silver Age stuff that much, I guess, and if it doesn't appeal to you, but if you're someone who's open to Silver Age stuff, I mean, by some of the best. I mean, Wally Wood, Gil Kane. I mean, there are a lot of great artists on those series and a lot of great concepts. I love the character No Man. He's my favorite. Steve Ditko, Wally Wood and Steve Ditko kind of defected from Marvel to go work for Tower or for a while there. So a lot of fairly big names for the time either defected or did some moonlighting, I guess, from the big companies to work for Tower Comics. So if you're someone who does appreciate Silver Age comics, Mr. Grant Gregory, I think you might enjoy it. I would definitely be interested in your opinion of that. I have one of the masterworks. They've done masterworks. See, the thing is, Thunder Agents are in the public domain and have been for a while. I even met one of the guys I met one of these guys who started doing some comics of them in the 90s or whatever. And he acted like he owned them, but he didn't. They've been all over the place. And there has, obviously there were Tower Comics. Then I think a thing called Hall of Fame Comics or something brought them back in the 80s. Then JC Comics brought them back in the 80s. Some other company, but I had the one that George Perez and a few other artists did, one of the, like, a 6-issue run in the 80s. George Perez and a few other artists. That one was called Wally Wood's Thunder Agents. Then there were actually remember Penthouse Magazine made a magazine called Omni Magazine in the early 90s, where it was a science fiction magazine, comics mag. They were in that for like one issue, then by Paul Galassi. Then we didn't get a finish up to it. Then DC got their grubby little hands on it in the late 2000 aughts or whatever. And then IDW, I think, was the last one to have it. So it's been all over the place. But, Hungry Boy and I right now could get together and do our own Thunder Agents comic. And I don't think anyone could stop us. Yes, I'm ready. I got me a list of supplies and I'm ready to roll here. So there's lots of refund. Yeah, that's true. Well, that's true. I've heard about that. DC had, I think that is true. Is that, I haven't heard that confirmed. Is that true that DC can't reprint the Charlton stuff anymore? Wow. Good. They don't care about it anyway. But there are some archives of Thunder Agents, which I have. I think I have one of them. So tonight I thought I would talk about shows that were cut down in their prime. I thought I would since it's the 22 shows. I've read Showcase to my daughter. Silver Age is a great entry. Oh, it is. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Mr. Grant Gregory. I will. If you ever get a chance to read those Thunder Agents, I would really like to hear what you have to say about them. I want to go back and reread some of those myself. They didn't last long, but on any of their runs, but I love them. So, who has a TV show that they love that you either think nobody else cares about or knows, or even if it's one that's fairly famous but just didn't get a long run? My criteria is going to basically be this. Now, this list is not, I didn't do it in order. There's going to be 22 shows. I'm going to start out with some cartoons, and then we're going to go into live action shows. Obviously, there's a certain pecking order. When I get toward the end, those are going to be my favorites. But I'm just going to, like, the first 8 or 9 of the first 6 or 7 or 8 of the live action shows are just going to be not in no particular order. When I get down to the last 10, it's a little bit more ordered, and it's just, now these are shows that were criminally cut short. Some lasted a little bit longer than others. And here's the thing about that. There are going to be a lot of shows that maybe it's just I didn't see it. I really almost wasn't going to do this. I talked about it a lot, and then about an hour and a half before the show, I decided to see if I could get all my pictures together and do it. And my problem is I have a garbage memory. I'm terrified I'm going to leave something out that I love. Now, what I want to do is, After I get it all done, I want to see what, obviously you guys to name some shows that I didn't name. And it may be something I just never watched or never saw. Now, like I see you guys are mentioning some in the chat right now. I'm seeing some that are going to be on and some that aren't. I went with as many as I can. I wanted to make a 22, and again, like a handful of cartoons that I'm going to go into the live action. Because cartoons, it happened with cartoons, but nowhere near as much as it happens with live action stuff. Solomon Kane, I've not seen you here before, and I like that name. A Robert E. Howard fan, I take it. And yes, the guy in Voyagers, John Eric Hexum, did accidentally kill himself. Now that you guys are going to name a ton of shows that I don't have because I'm only doing 22, but that's the fun of it. I'm hoping when you guys name one, it's just because I haven't seen it. If you name one that I have seen that I forgot to put on, I'm going to be very aggravated with myself. So they're kind of, nope, again, I'm about to start. There's no particular order. I'll handle it as fast as I can, relatively fast, but I want to give each one a little bit of time, and I want to get your opinions on them. And again, bear in mind, if I skip one that you love, it could be just that I forgot it or probably just never watched it. And if I never watched it, I can't really comment on it really. And usually the criteria is also, these are shows, most of them were cut, really short. Only a couple on the list even got a whole season. But usually if it didn't get more than 2 seasons, it's not on the list. In other words, we all love original Star Trek. It should have gone on for many seasons, but it's not on the list. I love Blake Seven, D-Bud, but Blake Seven lasted 4 seasons. So it's not on the list. I love that show. So it's got to be a show that was cut criminally short, or maybe it lasted a season or so, but it didn't make it to the syndication numbers of 3 seasons. If you see what I'm saying. Glenzer. And there are going to be plenty of shows you guys are going to have that I don't have on here because they're only, I went with the number of 22. I wanted to mix some cartoons in. So again, other than the last 10 or so, which nothing could take, those are the ones I think of the most. Some of them are just ones I put on there because they were the ones that popped to mind. And then of course, after I do this, I want to have you guys, tell me what you think of the ones I got on here. And of course you can tell me, you can start because you're putting a lot in there now that that are amazing that I either love or haven't seen. That I go, wow, I'd like to have seen that. Kal-El, buddy, good to see you. So, but I can't. If I stopped and read them all, we'd be here all night. I want to do the list first. So here we go, and I'm going to start going backwards with cartoons. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to do 6 cartoons, and the rest are going to be live action series. Okay. Number 6, I'm going to go popular, but it only got 2 seasons. So I'm going to go with Star Trek, the animated series. We've, of course, reviewed it. And since it's a Saturday night Star Trek, I thought I would start with it. I wish Star Trek, the animated series had got at least a 3rd season at minimum. I really do. I think it should have. It would have been a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun reviewing this show when we did it a few months back, when we did it right after we did the original series, before we did the original series crew films. So I think, and again, we don't have to talk about it too much because everyone knows about this one. Some of these shows are going to be very are going to be very obscure. Some won't. Yeah, Johnny Quest lasted a little bit though, at least, but yeah. But this should have gotten another season at least. Solomon's King. Yeah, look, a lot of you naming a lot of shows that I do remember. So let's see. But I'm going to name the shows that were special to me, and it's a couple of cases of shows that I think are kind of unknown that deserve a little bit of airtime that are pretty obscure. But right now we're in the cartoons. This is a show that is the next one is a criminally underrated. We only got 1 season of this one. And that is, of course, Silver Surfer. This show was magnificent. I loved it. God, it was such a great show. And it just there was going to be a 2nd season of Silver Surfer. And it just is not fair that we got screwed over with this one. Just not fair. They planned it. They were even going to have the FF on the next season. But no. Glenzer says, I never knew this. Yes, Silver Surfer, it was late 90s. And it's just so Kirby-ish. It's so epic. I mean, I had a few problems with the premiere episode 3-parter because it's tough to tell the Silver Surfer's origin without the Fantastic Four. And they didn't do it. For some reason, they weren't allowed to do that. But they were going to have them on the next season. And this was a great show. It was pure science fiction comics. Beautiful, beautiful show. Great score. Just loved it. Great writing. Larry Brody did an outstanding job on that show. My next one is Green Lantern, the animated series. Only 26 episodes. And this, I was not at first. It took me a little while to get used to this type of animation. If you'd given me my druthers, I would have asked for, basic 2D animation. But once you get over that part and you over that hump, this is a great show, and it just deserved. I see what you're saying, Grant, but I got used to this animation and I was fine with it. I really love this show. It was. We got, of course, because I'm I'm biased towards Hal Jordan anyway, and we get Kilowog. Like I said, I wouldn't choose that style animation, but I got used to it because the stories were so good. It was a different take, certainly, them having the ship. I even got used to Io. And see, we have my first disappointment of the night. Eric mentioned a show that I forgot. It was going so fast so we're going to give it an honorable mention. I don't have a picture. Thundar the Barbarian would be on here if I had remembered it because I love it. I just got the Blu-ray of it. Thank you, Eric. I'm now so depressed. I think I'm canceling the show tonight. Good night, everybody. Have a nice New Year. I'm just kidding. But I am so pissed off at myself for thanks a lot, Bronze Wrencher. Now I'm depressed because I forgot Thundar. It would have been on here. I mean, you can't put a zillion cartoons on here. But I want Thundar on here, and I didn't do it. I love it. I love Thundar, so it gets the honorable mention of the night. God. No, but in all seriousness, thanks, Eric. At least it got a mention. What's wrong with me? Well, 22, Michael Beacom, actually, because of the year, 22, but yeah. And Dadman, yeah. It is a great show. Yeah, I love it. So I love Thundar, and I hate myself for not having gone there. Everyone, I will be slicing my damn neck off with my Thundar Sun Sword. Yes, you are. The Wrencher's job is to make me feel bad for forgetting things. As long as you have Space Ghost, you can forgive Thundar. Yeah, I love it. Space Ghost lasted forever, though. It doesn't qualify for the list. Here's another one that, even though it lasted 2 seasons, it got cut short criminally, even though it should not have been, and that's Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes. This show is wonderful. It is just perfect. No, they had some. I hated the last episode, but on balance, this was a wonderful, portrayal of the animated Marvel universe. And it's just such a great show. Yes, it had 2 seasons, but I'm putting it on the list because it should have been longer. Mr. Gregory, no, Wolverine the X-Men was okay, but it wasn't it wasn't in the league with this. This got screwed over. This is the thing. This was going fine, and it got screwed over because of the jackasses at Marvel. Look, I like the Avengers 2012 movie as much as the next guy, but we were going to get more of this, but the idiots decided, let's do a show that looks like looks more like the movie, a cartoon that looks like the movie. Oh, man, I was about to curse. I was so pissed off. I'm not going to do it. Jesus. Ugh. Makes me, if I never ever show me, if we're ever in a crowd somewhere, and one of you happens to know the jackass that made the decision to cancel this so they can make that garbage Avengers ass symbol, that shitbag cartoon. I want you to make sure you don't point them out to me, because you will get me put in jail. I will walk up to him and I will go Ben J. Grimm on the bitch. It will be clobbering time for real, buddy. Because this show deserved to keep going. This was as a result of a jackass decision. And I love this show so much. Anyway, see, this whole list is gonna piss me off, because all these shows should have lasted longer. But I'm gonna that's why I got M&Ms, because I'm gonna rant every time just about on one of these. I just realized I'm gonna be ranting and raving. And here's a show that did get to last a little bit longer, but it's a similar thing, not quite. This is the DC, in my opinion, this is the DC counterpart, even though it was before Earth's Mightiest Heroes, because Justice League and Justice League Unlimited deserve to go longer. Justice League, and this is when I got dragged kicking and screaming to watch this thing when it first came on, because I didn't like some of the changes that Bruce Timm and Paul Dini had made to this show. But this show was fantastic. Yeah, I mean, I like the first two seasons. They had a lot of great stuff in there, but I mean, Justice League Unlimited had some wonderful episodes, and it should not have died after 4 seasons. It should have gone on for a while. What else did they have to do? Another show that, I mean, yes, it lasted more than a lot of these shows are going to be on my list, but it got cut short, and that sucks. And this is, again, I think I'm gonna have some blood pressure problems by the time this is over. The second season, not the first, the second season of the Fantastic Four cartoon, thank you, Larry Houston, of the mid-90s, is my happy space. The first season is a steaming pile of horse manure. Then somebody got a hold of the second, for Larry Houston, I think it was you, I don't know, and said, hey, let's make it look Kirby. Let's adapt a lot of Kirby stuff. And there's 13 episodes. One's kind of a clips episode, but even that's fun. There are 13 episodes of sheer Fantastic Four joy, to the point that I can watch them anytime, watch them over and over again. This cartoon makes me so happy. This is your Fan Four Stick? Fan Four Stick's a horrible movie, Mr. Grant Gregory. What do you mean? This cartoon, first season's bad. Second season, I can't. Look, I've gushed about it enough, so I'll move. But indeed, Mr. Grant Gregory, it's God, I love it. They adapted some things and they changed a few things in some of their adaptations of classic comics. But my God, it's sheer joy. Oh, I got you. Well, I just wasn't sure. You said Fan Four Stick, and that's well, we know what Fan Four Stick is, but I'm reading you, brother. So I love this one. And now what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the live action stuff. I wanted to give some love to some cartoons that were unjustly killed before their time. And so now I'm going to go with some relatively obscure stuff that were short-lived. You can decide whether you've seen them or not, whether you think they should have lasted or not. But I want to go with stuff. I mean, again, it's easy to go with stuff everybody knows about. Some of the stuff, and I thought this was a fairly good show. I kind of enjoyed it. It was a little off the wall. It was a little, actually, that was kind of, it's just, well, you make up your mind. Did anyone ever see The Immortal with Christopher George? This show lasted one season, but it had something of a unique premise. This guy's just a test car driver who just got called in by the company who he works for, and they gave him a blood test, and his blood accidentally got given to this dying billionaire, the billionaire running of this company or whatever. It started rejuvenating him. They find out that this guy's immortal. His blood could actually, heal people and extend life. So this, he was in Rat Patrol as well. And so this guy kidnaps him and puts him in a cell below his house to keep him alive so he could live off of him. This billionaire. And of course, this guy doesn't want that, obviously. So basically, it becomes the fugitive. It's pretty much the fugitive. He's running from this millionaire, has to hire these hunters to go chase him all over the place. And this is the early 70s where you could walk around the country and nobody could find you. And from place to place, and, very much Fugitive, Incredible Hulk show, that kind of stuff. Except these guys aren't allowed to shoot him or hurt him, and they got to catch him without hurting him because they need him alive. Interesting show. I thought it was, again, they had an episode with Ross Martin in it from a great episode, a hilarious episode with that Ross Martin from Wild Wild West. So only one season. And so my next one is, all right, how many of you remember this one? QED. Only 6 episodes. Takes place at around the turn of the century. It's about Sam Waterston plays this sort of this eccentric scientist. And by the way, Julian Glover plays his main villain. And it's kind of a old-fashioned, fun adventure romp where this scientist and inventor has adventures, basically. And I remember watching this and really thinking it was a lot of fun, and think this is pretty cool stuff. And Claude knows all about it. We both we recorded it. It came on CBS, but yeah, well, obviously. Exactly. They didn't call it steampunk then, but that's kind of what it was. But it was a fun show. And, look, if you're only going to make 6 episodes of something, why are you making it at all? That's what's really annoying. I can kind of understand when they make the general 13 episodes for mid-season replacements, or when a show gets canceled after a season, although not really, but I kind of understand it in a sense, but 6 episodes. I mean, why would you do that? So my next one lasted 2 years, but it's still not long enough. And there's a Western, one of the only, because Westerns usually did not get canceled that often. Walter Brennan and the Guns of Will Sonnet. This is an underrated show. I'm a big Western fan. Some of you may not be. Often brilliant, moody, Western that had sometimes basic plots, but it had a great main plot running through it, a plot thread, a great concept. Whereas this guy is this Will Sonnet is now he's an old man now, but he was a famous war hero. That's Walter Brennan. This was one of Aaron Spelling's first shows. It's Walter Brennan, Canadian Spider-Man. What's up, buddy? So Walter Brennan plays Will Sonnet. And what happens was, and the show opens up every time explaining it, he was very rarely home when he was much a younger army officer. So his son, when he was old enough to leave home, James Sonnet, leaves and goes out and becomes this infamous gunfighter that a lot of people think is a killer. He's got a reputation, but at some point has a son, and he sends his baby son to his grandfather, Will Sonnet. He raises the kid, and when the kid reaches 18 or so, he decides he wants to go find his father, who's now this famous gunfighter. And of course, so Will Sonnet and his grandson, Jeff Sonnet, played by Dak Rambo, they go and try to find Jason Ellis, James Sonnet, the gunfighter, the well-known gunfighter, and they're looking for him all over the West. And once in a while, they almost find him. It's very difficult to find him and stuff like that. And his reputation precedes him. And I just love Walter Brennan has never been more terrific. He walks around. He's got this saying, "No brag, just fact." He says, because he trained the boy, the grandson, to be a fast gun. He said, "The boy's faster than his pappy, and I'm faster than both of them. No brag, just fact." So. Hey, Mark Dibble, say what's up, buddy? Good to see you, bro. Yep. Well, there you go, man. I got you. I love this show. Now, it's only on... Was Dak Rambo on Sword of Justice? I knew he was on some of those 90s soap shows. I think it was he on Falcon Crest or Dallas or something? But it was Dak Rambo. Mr. Grant Gregory, I have a box set of it's one of those companies, fly-by-nighters, that put these out from really bad masters, so they're shitty copies. But the thing is, the last episode, because every now and then, the guy, Jason Evers, who was on a Trek episode called Wink of an Eye, is actually a really great actor. And every now and then he would pop up in an episode. This show was so mythic. And he's really great on the show, Jason Evers, when he would pop up, and they would almost find him and different stuff. And then the show got ended after the 2 seasons, and they never aired the final episode where it gives you the resolution of the story. But that video existed, so they actually put it on the video set. So, and it's a great episode, and it resolved the story, but it never aired on network TV. It's weird. So anyway, the Guns of Will Sonnet's a great and underrated show. Everyone knows all the famous Westerns, but nobody knows this one. This next one, everybody knows it, but I'm sorry, it should have lasted longer. You're going to have to sue me, but I love Buck Rogers. Yes, that second season had a lot of faults, but still, if you didn't make it to the 3-season mark, you're fairly eligible to make this particular list. And I just grew up loving this show, and I don't care who knows it. Bitty, 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 bitty. Aaron Gray, Pamela Hensley. And I will say, for Gil Gerard, okay, everybody, Gil Gerard was not Sir Laurence Olivier. But no one could have played Buck Rogers better than him. No one could have played him better than he did on that show. I even liked the first episode of the second season. Comic Relief Crusader, good to see you, my friend. Glenzer, top pick for only season 1 show, My Living Doll. I never got to see that. Julie Newmar, right? Glenzer, thank you so much for that. And I love Julie Newmar, who was on an episode of Buck Rogers, by the way. Michael Beacom says, sorry, I do not want another frame of season 2. If they would have kept it in line with the first, and yeah, first was pretty goofy too, though. I hear you, Michael, but I like Time of the Hawk. I actually like the first story of season 2. I really like it, even though I was against him with the Searcher and all that stuff. But that said, I think it kind of really went downhill after that. But I still think this show deserved another chance. It deserved another season. It meets my criteria because it didn't get 3 seasons, and it deserves so much more. Okay, if you think that was a ridiculous one, folks, I'm sure you do. The Time Tunnel. I can still hear that music, man. Irwin Allen show, the only Irwin Allen show on my list. Time Tunnel only had like 30-something episodes. Time Tunnel deserved better, in my opinion. I love this show, especially the early ones. Yep. The Time Tunnel. I like how they said it. It was fun stuff. Yeah. And Tony Newman and Doug Phillips fall instantly through fall into the infinite corridors of time. I can't remember all that, so yeah, whatever. I can't remember now. I messed it up. But yeah, again, this show just didn't get enough episodes. You know, you can make the case that Land of the Giants didn't either. I didn't put it on here. But my buddy Flash loved Land of the Giants. I mean, I liked it too. I was a Lost in Space guy, but it got its 3 seasons. So, now I'm mad at myself, Steve Mitchum, because Green Hornet deserved to be on this list, and I didn't make it. Thanks for pointing that out. I hate when I miss stuff. Green Hornet's a great one, so mention to the Green Hornet. Shout out to that. Well, I'll read all when you guys, when I get done with all this, I'll look at some of the ones you mentioned. But I do love Green Hornet. Next up, now I want to know how many of you are familiar with this show. This one's going to be, I think, fairly rare. Now and Again. This was a weird, eclectic, but really, really good show. I went back and watched it again. I thought about Barbary Coast, Steve mentioned, but we'll talk about some of the ones that I didn't do later. But I thought about it. I've watched a bunch of those with buddy Scott, and it was okay. I'm nothing against it. It was good, but it was fun to watch. But this show, I mean, it's an amazing concept. They handled it so well, but nobody knows about it. This was Glenn Gordon Caron, the guy who created Moonlighting, a show that I loved, did this show. Dennis Haysbert's in it, and Margaret Collin. Oh baby, first episode for those who don't know. J-Man's got to run. Good to see you, buddy. Thank you for being here tonight, bro. Always a pleasure. Yes, Haysbert's amazing. These are on YouTube. Last I checked, I think they were all free on YouTube. But this show, John Goodman is this normal businessman or whatever who has an accident and dies in the subway in New York, but this secret organization takes his brain out for this experiment, and there's this genetically engineered, almost quite a Superman type body that they created, but they needed a brain for it, so they put the man's brain in it. And he's this guy. So this guy, he was John Goodman, then he woke up to be this perfect specimen or whatever, but he's still the same man inside. He's John Goodman inside, that character inside. And it was just fascinating. And the thing is, that's always tragic about these characters, or these shows, is that sometimes they end on a damn cliffhanger. Like this one did. This one ends on an infuriating cliffhanger that every time, when I watch it, I go, oh my God, are you kidding me? We'll never know what happened. Not even just we'll see what happens next week. This guy was on another show that I think could have made my list that I didn't put on there, which I actually liked, the Magnificent Seven TV show, the late 1999 or 2000 or whatever, 20-something episodes. I forgot that's another show I forgot. Man, I did this list really quick tonight. And so I'll think of some stuff that I just fell through the cracks later. But this guy was on that show right after he did this one. And for Eric Close, I think the guy's name is, really good. He's, you expect him, he's just like the chunky guy or whatever. I'm the hunky whatever boy, but no, he's really good on this show. Well, I hear you, Mr. Grant Gregory. This show was really good and underrated. Next is a show that this is going to make me start crying, not anger, crying here. Alias Smith and Jones. I love this show so much, and and if you're familiar with the sad history of what happened to this show, there were 55 episodes, but there were really 15 that don't really count. This is a show created by Roy Huggins. I mean, who did a lot of things like old stuff, and then of course, Maverick and Rockford Files and different things like that. He worked on a lot of stuff like that. Actually, Glenn Larson was actually one of the producers of the show. I mean, but Roy Huggins just did some of the writing for it, I think. Alias Smith and Jones is about these two cousins who were two of the most notorious outlaws in the West, Hannibal Hayes and Kid Curry. That's right, Steve Mitchum. And it always opens up with the introduction. They were two of the most famous, but yet in all the trains and banks they robbed, they never shot anyone, which made our notorious outlaws extremely popular with everyone but the banks, of course. And so in the pilot episode, they're kind of wanting to quit. Phantom Outsider, what's up, bro? Happy New Year. They deciding they don't like their life of crime. They'd like to quit, but circumstances happen. Things happen. And see, the one on the left is Pete Duell. He's kind of the slick talker, and he's a great, he's Maverick level when it comes to playing poker. He's a card shark guy. And the other one on the right, Kid Curry, is about the fastest gun around. He's lightning fast with a gun. And this show, Mr. Grant Gregory, was the early 70s. And so They had a lot of great fun. They even used some Gene Roddenberry scripts for some of these shows that he'd written for Virginian. It was a lighthearted show. The show was basically this. After the pilot, the governor, since they did something good and heroic, the governor gave them hello there, Kogi Pan. Good to see you, my friend. Happy New Year. The governor gave them a choice and said, if they can go straight for 6 months, he would give them amnesty from all their crimes. But only the governor and them could know about it. So it always opens up with them saying, wait a minute. So if we keep ourselves clean for 6 months, but in the meantime, we'll still be wanted. So the premise was they had to kind of, go straight for 6 months, and they couldn't, if they want to get their amnesty, but everyone else still wants that they're wanted criminals. And they had a lot of the stories were great, the characterization. Well, this gentleman on the left here, Pete Duell, unfortunately in the early 70s, he was on his way to becoming a superstar. He was so great on this show. These two are so great together that Pete Duell accidentally killed himself with the gun. It was a suicide, but a lot of people say that it was an accident. He was drunk. He was messing around with a gun. They're not sure. This is when the show was in its mid popularity. It's only been around like a season or a little over a season. And it was a pretty big hit. And all of a sudden he died. And so instead, they didn't really know what to do. So they replaced him with an actor named Roger Davis for 15 episodes. And then the show just collapsed. And it's so sad. Pete Duell was a great actor. The character of Hannibal Hayes, and he and Kid Curry were so fun together. The show was so much fun. This was a lighthearted Western romp, not like Will Sonnet, which was kind of serious, although it had its lighter moments. But he accidentally killed himself, and it wasn't on a set, though, Mr. Grant Gregory. He was at home. And it's just, this show is so damn good. I love it. I've watched it so much. It's got a great opening theme. The opening, find the opening credits on YouTube and watch that, and it'll sort of tell you about the premise of the show. So anyway, unfortunately, he passed away, and it would have gone on forever. I remember as a kid just being devastated when I didn't know that had happened to him at the time. That was in the 70s. As a kid, it just liked the show, and then saw it later in reruns. And in the early 2000s or so, when my son was like still relatively young, I started showing him the show, and he was maybe like 10 or 11 or something like that. And he fell in love with the show. He loved it. But when I told him that Hannibal Hayes was going to change actors, he got mad. He did not want to watch Roger Davis. Purple Valkyrie, I love you. Thank you for being here tonight, my friend. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Oh, thank you, Mr. Gregory. Mr. Gregory, I appreciate that. The chat on the StreamYard side, this chat goes so fast, I can't really see everything on there, but I try to see the smaller ones when I can. And I appreciate those words. Thank you so much. My next one is The Human Target. Did anyone watch this one on Fox? I'm going to tell you, I love this show. Loved this one. This one got robbed. Man, we got robbed on this one. We got jobbed on this one, boys and girls. This show was so much fun, so well written. The action in this show alone was, it was movie level. And it was really high budget. I guess that was part of the problem. I don't know. But you had a great character, a great concept. You had great characters with a great concept. And I could go back and watch this again and have a lot. They didn't put the second season out on DVD, the jackasses. It is based on a DC comic, as Matthew Pounder points out, but it's really not much like the comic book. But the show is so entertaining. Mark Valley in the lead, Chi McBride, great actor, and Jackie Earl Haley, yes, Rorschach, and another DC property. He is just off the charts terrific. This show is so much fun. So, Solomon Kane, Combat was 5 seasons. I don't know exactly how many seasons Combat was. My good buddy Michael at Retro Blessing, that's his favorite show. He could definitely tell you. But yes, this show, we got robbed. I loved it so much. And yeah, so I might go back and start binging that again soon. Yeah, it's really not much like the comic book at all that I remember. Well, Jackie Earle Haley, yes, you're right. That's true, Steve. He was on a Shazam episode. He was in, of course, Bad News Bears, Damnation Alley, and then, of course, Rorschach. And, yeah, so they even played Freddy Krueger, but we don't hold that against him because, that was kind of a mistake to make those, obviously. Next is a show I dearly love, a little bit more obscure than this, Special Unit 2. 19 episodes. 19 freaking episodes. This show was a sheer joy to me. It was on UPN. And Oliver Belamonte, welcome. Good to see you, my friend. On UPN, remember 2000 or something like that? It came on. I remember it used to come on before Enterprise. And just sort of, and for those who are not familiar, it's sort of basically sort of a Men in Black, except with monsters and stuff rather than aliens. I love. They had a tagline of the show. They used to always say, all these other all these other monsters existed, but except for vampires. They said everyone knows there's no such thing as vampires. They had great characters. This guy, I mean, Nick. I mean, look, those of you have seen this. If you've not, they actually do have a DVD set now out that's available. There's a friend showed me the site, and I forgot to order it again because all I have is a bootleg. I need to order it, but yeah. Special Unit 2. You think it needed a better name, Glenzer? I don't know. It just needed to be on, probably get more on a better network or something. I don't know. Fireworks, Snorty? We haven't been still getting some fireworks over here. Great cast. Again, exactly, Hunger Boy. Great cast, great scripts, and great editing. They're just a joy, the show. I really loved it. Next, more horror with Kolchak the Night Stalker. How in the hell did this show get only one season, 20-something episodes? How? I remember Quark, Michael Beacom. I mean, it wasn't one of my favorites or anything, but I do remember it. We're getting into, now, folks, we're getting into tragic territory right here. It shows that it is absolutely a sin against decency that they got canceled. Darren McGavin. Now, I think the two TV movies are a little bit better, but this show's so great just for him alone. He is just genius. I love this show so much. I can't even, Mr. Grant Gregory, have you never seen Kolchak the Night Stalker? But there's a Blu-ray. I keep needing to get it. Darren McGavin is there were books by Jeff Rice or whatever, but there was a TV movie called The Night Stalker, where with this character about a vampire in Las Vegas. Then they made a sequel TV movie called The Night Strangler, which took place in Seattle. And finally, I think he moved to Chicago for the series, which lasted 20-something episodes, 22, 23 or whatever. And he's a reporter that worked for, kind of a he's very anti-hero type. He investigates all these supernatural happenings and no one ever believes him. And he just wants a story, but he always ends up being the one to have to deal with them. This show, and Darren McGavin is terrific. This show, even in some of the goofier episodes, it don't matter. He's so damn good on this show. He's one of these guys, and I love the show, don't get me wrong, but their episodes with the story was like, yeah, all right, but it's him. In my opinion, he's brilliant. They were running out of steam by the end of the first season, so maybe we were lucky. It was only planned one TV movie, one, then two. Suddenly it was a series. Yeah, but I used to watch that show with my dad, Michael Beacom, and man, I'd have given anything to get a few seasons out of it, but you might be right. So this is criminal right here. Mr. Greg, never seen Kolchak. Well, if you ever get a chance, look it up. You might like it, man. You might like it. It was kind of like, well, there you go. Chris Persia, kind of the precursor to X-Files. That's right, Dan Curtis. There you go. Wow, we owe Jeff Rice, Dan Curtis, and Darren McGavin for the assistance of Urban Fantasy. Wow, that's a good point. I'd never think that it did that before. Thank you. I hear you, Michael Beacom. Next, Police Squad in color. Now, I just put this picture out because it had him on there. This picture is actually from Naked Gun, but whatever. It gets the point across. Naked Gun movies are fine, but Police Squad is a masterpiece of television. 6 episodes of pure genius. Unbelievably hilarious comedy. Such incredible timing. I love every episode of this. I love this show. Along with Martin, Gunderson, and Sally Decker. I like the movies, especially the first one. Second one, third one, but none of them touch the show for me. And I could watch, and I have the garbage cans. Each episode, in the first episode, he knocked over 1 garbage can. In the second one, 2, then 3. Monkey Jeebus, hello there. Good to see you, my friend. So this was a fantastic show. I like that quote. There you go. I like that. It's hard to do nothing. You never know when you're finished. That's a good one. I like that. I love Leslie Nielsen. All right, folks, we're coming on to let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The top 5. It might be controversial. I don't know. Are we ready for the top 5, my friends? In color. Yeah, I still can't resist saying in color sometimes. Who's ready for the top 5? It's about as exciting as you could possibly get on a Saturday night. No, it isn't, but we're going to do it anyway. Yeah. All right. All right. Number 5. And I didn't number the other ones, but yeah, I mean, we're going to go ahead and just do like a 5 countdown thing here. So there we go. Fleeing from the Cylon tyranny, the last Battlestar Galactica leads a ragtag fugitive fleet on a lonely quest, a shining planet known as Earth. Sorry, I love this show. I mean, I dearly love this show. I've watched it so many times. Cam, I hope you. Oh, good to see you, buddy. I hope you're feeling well. Great to see you, sir. Wow, excellent, my friend. But yeah, can there be any doubt? This show should have gotten a 2nd season. It should have gotten a 3rd season. There were. I mean, I don't count Galactica 1980, I mean, except for the Return of Starbuck episode. But even that one, ends things. But there were interviews and talks talking about how they if it had gotten renewed, they were going to bring in some science fiction writers. They were going to try to maybe work on the show a little bit in terms of its stories. Because yes, there were some goofy stories. You know what I equate this with? And it's not because of Lauren Green, who I think is terrific on this show. I love this cast. I love Richard Hatch and I love Dirk Benedict, of course. And I love Lauren Green. It is Bonanza in space in a sense that this is not exactly Star Trek level science fiction. And it's not supposed to be. It's a science fiction adventure. And it's just, it's more of a family show, a family adventure show in space. But I love it. And it's got, again, there are definitely episodes that are, I mean, and points of the writing that are a bit pedestrian. And you could tell written for, families rather than more serious, adult science fiction like Star Trek. But that's okay. Especially when you're a kid like me, who I think 14 years old when I first saw it and loved it. I saw the pilot movie that played in theaters in Sense-Around. Steve thinks he knows the rest of my list. Well, Steve, if you hear it, let me know if you were right. So, anyway, I've just been such a huge fan of this show forever. You know the origin, Ryan. This too was just one TV movie, but ABC, liked it the option. I did not know that. I mean, I heard things about it. I did not know the real origin of that. No, so thank you. Let's get that from once again from Michael Beacom, because I've heard things, but I didn't know if that was true or not. So he says, you know the origin, right? This too was just one TV movie, but ABC liked it and picked up the option. They didn't expect that they had and had throw scripts that and had to throw scripts together for whatever. From whatever. Sorry about that. Or did you think they meant to have a Western script with a Cylon gunfight? I don't know, but I kind of like that cheesy episode. But I hear you, buddy. I kind of like that goofy episode. Let's see here. So, number 4. The Planet of the Apes. And I do mean the short-lived, brilliant series that only got 13 episodes, 14 maybe, 14, 13. I'm a big apophile. I love the original 1968 film. It's in my top 5 or 10, somewhere in my top 10 all-time favorite films, with the first Charlton Heston film. I have some criticisms of the other films, but I'm an ape freak. I love Planet of the Apes comics, and I actually love this damn TV show just as much. I did not get anywhere close to what it deserves. Roddy McDowall was great in the other movies. He is off the charts phenomenal in this show, as is Mark Leonard. Mark Leonard is unbelievable as General Uriko. 14, that's right. It's 14, Chris. And it's and these two guys, I really like them. I like James Naughton and Ron Harper. This show was great. And I've watched it so many times because I like the characterization in the stories. This takes place in a different part of the timeline of the apes. Back then the apes were huge. But the continuity, it makes sense, Matthew Pounder, in the sense that Marvel. Did you ever read the Planet of the Apes Marvel magazine where they set different timelines? Where there was a time where apes and humans kind of coexisted, but apes were in the minority and ran everything, and humans were just kind of slaves. That's even sort of mentioned in the first Apes film. So it's kind of covered later in some of the Marvel magazines as well. But I just love this show, always will, and it just would love to have gotten so much more. I would have loved to have gotten so much more. What are you going to do? Next, number 3. Take my love, take my land, take me where I cannot stand. I don't care, I'm still free. You can't take the sky from... I won't sing anymore, just kidding. Tom, what's up? Midnight's Edge, how you doing, buddy? Yes, I need a Blu-ray of Planet of the Apes, sir. Please make that happen for me, Tom. I love the show, and I need that. I still have the old box set, though. Yeah. Good to see you there, bro. But, yeah, you knew this would make it. I mean, well, Michael Beacom, remember, this is just a favorite list. It's not a bet. I'm not saying this is categorically head and shoulders above any show canceled before its time. This is the poster boy or girl or whatever you want to call it. This show is the definition of a show that got screwed over way too early. Nothing comes close in terms of a show proven how popular a show could be. Proving how popular a show could be, and yet it gets screwed over. This list is just, I didn't really make an order. I only started saying number 5 from 5 on because I want to have a dramatic top 5. This is that. The other 2 are just a little bit more sentimental to me that I love, the ones before it. Not saying they're better. This show, I was a Firefly maniac. I watched it in its original run, recorded them on VHS, the 11 that aired in the States, and watched them over and over again. When this DVD set finally came out, I watched the 3 that we didn't get aired here over and over again. I went to Dragon Con 2004 when Nathan Fillion, Jewel State, and Adam Baldwin were there, and there was almost, the fandom was not particularly organized or anything like that. But it's just, I cannot even, of course, I even went to see the damn Serenity movie at the theater 10 times or something. And even though it aggravated me and it did things that really pissed me off, I was that insane a Firefly fanatic. I really was. I don't say was. I still love it. I haven't watched it in about 12 years now. But before that, I must have watched it, each of them. I mean, most episodes, if not all of them. Oh, good God, 20, 30, 40. I don't know how many times I watched them over and over again. And I've been saving them to go back and binge them because they are such a source of pain, because so many people loved what could have happened, what could have been. This is the biggest right here of what could have been a show that deserved better. This is number one in all of that. My favorites are personally, the 2 above it are just personal, mean as much to me, but there's no order here. Remember, I didn't do any order before these. So I guess when we got to this top 5, I should have just shut up and not say a 5 order. So forget an order. The 2 before this, I love just as much as this. How about that? If that works better for you. But I once saw a guy at Dragon Con cosplaying. He was wearing a suit and he was all bloodied up. You know, he made himself look like he had the living crap beat out of him. And he was wearing a sign that said, "Fox executive that canceled Firefly." That was his costume. Now, I've heard later that was a woman, but he didn't know that. I guess, yeah. And it was probably not more than one person. Yeah, that and Amanda Bear. Now, that Amanda Bear doesn't like it because there are no aliens in it. Well, I can take one, since every other show has them. I can take one show without them. But I respect that, sir. I understand. Comic Relief Crusader, what's up, buddy? So, my number 2. Well, no more numbers. Just the 2 before it. The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. It only lasted a little bit more than Firefly. It was on Fox. This was before Firefly came around. This was my reason for hating Fox more than anything. I love this show. Just binged it again. I've binged it every couple of years. I mean, I can't tell me how many times I've watched it. Again, it's just sheer joy to me. Everything about it is fun. Everything about it just, it's one of those shows that makes me feel good every time I watch it. And that's it. I mean, again, and yes, I watch it knowing I'm never going to get any more of it, but there's like 22 something episodes. So that hurts. But it's better than when I watch Firefly. Now I know when I watch the show, I know that they're going to kill Wash and they could do and Book, and they're going to do that movie, which is a good movie, but it's also, and that's true, Mark D. I've worn out my DVD of this. You know, Serenity's a good movie, but it's just ugly and does all kind of nasty things to these characters. If they've been around for 4 or 5 years and they did something like that's one thing, but what he did to them with Serenity, I mean, I don't know. To me, Bruce Campbell almost always plays Bruce Campbell, which, by the way, I love him. I'm a big fan of his. And this one, he actually plays Briscoe. This character developed into a great character. This, to me, is my favorite role of his because it's not him just playing himself so much. He's a great character, and it's a fun show. I just really do love it. Yeah, Billy Drago was great. And hello there, Good to see you there, buddy. And my number 1 is a show none of you've ever heard of. And I've talked about it, unless you heard about it from me. Isaac Asimov's Probe. 7 episodes. Again, sheer joy to me. 1988. I'm walking out of the house, seeing this commercial for this new TV show called Probe. And it looks like some sort of science fiction. It's on ABC, science fiction-y looking show, whatever it is. And it said Isaac Asimov's Probe. So I start to walk out. Isaac Asimov. Then I see it's got the Hardy Boys guy in it, Parker Stevenson. So I'm like, the Hardy Boys guy? What? Nah. But then I start to walk out. But then I just pop a tape in there. So then it's Isaac Asimov. I mean, yeah, no, I'm not saying anything against the Hardy Boys. I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I mean, who took them seriously, really? I mean, unless you were like a 13-year-old girl. Just kidding there, dude. So, I recorded it. Got home. The then wife and I watched it. Yes, I was married back then. 1988. This was right at the same time I went to, yes, that's Ashley Crow, Mr. Grant Gregory. Good spot. This was right when I was moving from where I was living. I was about to go open up my comic shop, Mega City Comics in Baton Rouge. It was right at that same time, 1988. And I watched the pilot, and I couldn't believe it. I remember that show, Max Redstone. I never didn't watch much of it. I'm going to get you guys to give me all kind of other shows that we can mention. Usually just ones I don't know of or know of but never saw. So I watched it and just fell in love with the pilot. And then, of course, 7 weeks later, I'm really enjoying this. It's basically he's the smartest man in the world who lives in a warehouse by himself, is isolated. Very Doctor Who in the sense that he's just better than everybody else. He's so much smarter than everyone else, but yet she's just a secretary, and yet she can think rings around him just because he's not used to the real world as much. And they solve science mysteries, science-related mysteries. And 7 episodes later, they're gone. It's gone. It's over. But I've watched it, and the repartee between these two characters, the banter between them, the imaginative stories are just so. Again, they're low key. 7 episodes. They're on YouTube. It's never going to be on DVD. I have a bootleg of it, and I've had it transferred. Some people transferred of it, and since I know every line in every episode by heart, so I could tell what's been cut out. Like the Sci-Fi Channel back in the early 90s showed them on the series collection, about short-lived shows. But other than that, Michael Piller and Michael Wagner, the guys who went from this directly to this to Star Trek: The Next Generation, they did the show. So I love it. I watch it all the time. I'm wearing out my DVD copies now. It's never going to be on DVD. It's never going to be on Blu-ray or anything like that because Universal's a bunch of dickheads. So, and they don't care about it. They put a lot of it. Look, I mean, the Warner Archive puts out a lot of stuff. Hey there, Anti-Derivative Jill. Oh, it's good to see you, my dear. Happy New Year to you, our communications officer. But they're never going to put this out, so I got to watch my copies. Like I say, they're on YouTube. Some people remember. Most people don't remember this show. Look, it was on Thursday nights. They put it up against Cosby, for God's sake. Now, Cosby jokes will probably come into the... Anyway, so, yeah. This is the one that, again, there's no particular order to these, except in the top 5. Those are the ones that are most special to me. And yeah, actually, I forgot to put one up that you mentioned there, Michael Beacom, Search, which was the pilot was called Probe, but then the rest of the show was called Search. So these are mine. These are the ones that I thought that stand out to me that are special. I've had to concentrate, so I haven't been able to look at the chat that much. I've seen a lot of things, many of you have mentioned, but like I say, it just depends. My criteria, again, for those who don't know, it's got to be a show that was cut short very, very quickly, didn't get quite enough episodes, and is just, and sometimes very, I don't know, obscure. But not always. Some of these shows aren't really obscure. So now I can start looking at the chat a little bit, see what's going on. Chris Berger, would Sarah Connor Chronicles be in a top 20 list? I'm sure it'll be. Look, I don't think it would be in many people's list, Chris Berger, because every time you talk about short-lived shows, That's one of the ones from Fox that people talk about the most. I thought it was okay. I only watched for a while. I don't know if I saw every episode. I think I did, but I liked it. I don't know. I mean, it's not one of my favorite things or anything, but a lot of people really loved it. I remember Mantis. Indeed, you're right. I'm Amanda Baron. Yes. You know, Auto Man, Matthew Founder, I recorded Auto Man when it came on. I was a big fan of Tron. So I recorded it. I thought Auto Man was pretty dumb, to be honest with you, but now I would look back at it fondly. But I remember thinking it was pretty dumb. A lot of shows are pretty dumb. Nothing against it. Nah, it's not an insult. It's not meant to be an insult. Manimal was dumb too. Yeah. Manimal was really dumb, but it's still fun. Pleasant Valley Picker. Hello there. I remember Probe Search. I found episodes downloaded from years ago. Not sure. Well, Probe is Isaac Asimov's Probe, but then Search was a show. Yeah. Well, in fact, I'll pull up a picture of Search. We'll give it an honorable mention since I forgot to put it up here because I was actually going to put it up, but y'all know my stupid memory. See if I can find it here. It's a show worth mentioning, though, because it didn't last long. I had a buddy of mine. This was his holy grail forever. This was the show he wanted to come out more than anything. And it finally came out. The Warner Archive finally put it out about, what was it? 4 or 5 years ago, maybe? Thought I had the picture pulled up, but I guess I didn't. Well, I didn't pull the picture up. Where are you, picture? Picture's not here. Well, damn it. I thought I had it. But anyway, the show basically was Burgess Meredith was on it. And we watched a bunch of episodes recently, of course. Hey, Mr. Grant Gregory. What's up? Oh, thank you for the $2 super chat. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate that. Love this list. Journeyman was great sci-fi. Hail to you. I think I saw 1 or 2 Journeyman. I didn't see the whole thing, but I remember. Do you remember Nowhere Man? Forever was a season 1 show a few years back. Immortal does not know why he did it. Cliffhanger. Forever. I remember Forever Night. Let's see here. I like Blackstorm with Rainn Wilson. It was like Monk and Sherlock, but different enough to be interesting. And it was killed. Oh well, yep. I mean, everyone has 1 or 5 or 20 shows that they loved that got torched. Found a probe on YouTube. 8 full episodes at 45. Yes, one. It's the reason why it's 8 is because they probably have the pilot split in 2. But they're actually, if you count the pilot, there's 7. And my favorite is the last episode called "Quit It," but I love them all. And but yeah, but yes, I every now and then, rather than pull out my DVD set and wear it out, I'll turn one on YouTube, and then I'll notice that it's from a cut up copy that they got off the Sci-Fi Channel with lines cut out, and it'll aggravate me, but I'll still watch it. Because again, I wore out my VHS tapes almost of the original network run. And so a couple years later in the 90s, when they ran them on the Sci-Fi Channel, the series collection, they well. Anyway, what are you going to do? They were butchered. I call it butchering. But that's just me. That's just sour grapes on my part, I guess, right? Ow. I bumped into something. Ow, 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 ow. Let's see here. Oh, my goodness. But there were a lot of, look, this is the tip of the iceberg. Sorry here. Tip of the damn iceberg. What was that? Okay. Sorry, everyone, having a bit of a technical blitz. Where is it? Okay, there we go. All right. Sorry about that, everyone. Bit of a tech issue. The Comic Relief Crusader says I could transfer the video to digital if you want. The digital? Oh, like I said, they're not great copies, but when you say that, you mean like from the old videotapes? We did that once from the VHS, and we had them. And then, like I said, I went to a con. Does everyone, again, I talk about this a lot. Do you guys remember when cons? I know this never happened, of course. I'm making it up. This didn't really happen. I'm making it up. When cons had the guys selling the bootleg tapes. Oh, okay, the tapes. I'd have to dig those up, Comic Relief Crusader, but thank you. I know I still have them somewhere. In fact, again, I think a friend of mine did transfer them just to DVD. They just didn't really, they looked okay, you know, but I got really some good copies from a guy of the bootleg table from the con. And which is pretty cool. But I don't know. It still had stuff cut. One of them still had stuff cut out. So what are you gonna do? All right, now let's see here. How do we do this? If someone wants to just now, you guys put a lot of stuff in the chat, but I can't remember all the stuff you put in before because I was trying to stay focused on what I was doing, what I was talking about. You guys put a lot of stuff in there. Some stuff I have seen, some stuff I have not. So, if you want to throw out, let's see here. What are the shows? I mean, you can't do, obviously, we'd be here like 3 years if we did all the ones we love. That's why I only did like the hand. I did 22 because it's the year, it's a 2022 thing. That's kind of why I kind of did it that way. But if you want to mention one or two, now that I can pay more attention to it, Reigns with Jeff Goldblum. Now, I don't know that one. I remember he was on 10 Speed and Brown Shoe. Remember that? I don't know that one, Michael. Wow, you got me on that one, bro. Well done. You got me on one. Grizzly Adams. Snorted poopas. To be serious about a patient grizzly bear who adopts a human who has invaded a habitat and teaches him to respect the wild. Yes, Jill, I had Firefly. It was 3 from the top. The Chronicle. I had John Polito as the boss. I don't know the Chronicle. That's another one. At least I don't think I do. Oh, yeah, look, I remember Quark. I mean, even I remember Quark. I have a certain friend of mine I won't mention his name here, but Steve Mitchell knows him. It's impossible to know him and not know about some of the more obscure shows. And when he was so excited when he finally got Quark. I mean, he had some bootlegs of it when they actually put Quark. Quark's on DVD now. Quark is, but Probe isn't. Goddamn. But so. And yes, I also remember when things were rotten. I remember that one. There you go. Now, Steve Mitchell, the Green Hornet. That's one I regret not putting there, and I would have if I thought about it, dude. That's one that belongs on this list above some of the ones that I have on there. I love the Green Hornet. I love the Green Hornet. So I'm very. There are a couple because I was doing this pretty slapdash right before hour and a half before the show that I'm so mad at myself for forgetting. Your Muslim uncle, what's up, my friend? Great to see you. Okay, so let me back up my chat there so I had to look at something there. I watched the first couple episodes of Terra Nova and didn't necessarily get into it, but I don't know. But you guys liked it, I guess. So Dadman and Chris Persia liked Terra Nova. Okay. Now, I didn't mention Tales of Gold Monkey, Sean, but I did watch it. I thought it was an okay show. That was back at that time, with peak Raiders of the Lost Ark um, mode where they were trying to find stuff like that. There's also a show around the same time called Bring 'Em Back Alive with Bruce Boxleitner. You guys remember that one? That was trying to be similar, like Tales of the Gold Monkey. Not exactly like that show, but trying to be something along the, Indiana Jones type of vein, if you will. Now, Kal-El, I was not a big fan of Miss Fits of Science personally, but it's kind of funny. I remember kind of laughing at it at the time. I watched it, I guess, some of it. But people mention that every now and then. It gets mentioned, so some of you apparently remember it fondly. And there you go. The great Mark D with a C is here. What's up, dude?
Welcome. Thanks for having me. Happy New Year, everyone.
Thanks for popping in, man. What's up?
Yep. That's a great list. I missed the first few because I was binge watching Cobra Kai with the misses. So once you get
that's cool.
Once you get that close to the end, you're like, oh, it's the one more episode syndrome. So then my internet just went out. I don't know. I was Googling probe on the internet trying to find some of those episodes. My internet went down. I don't know if that was a message, but it's back up now. It's raining here. But
if you needed to go to that, watch the more of that stuff. That's cool. It's not a big.
No. We finished it. We finished Cobra Kai. Oh yeah, we finished.
I tell you, it's killing me, man. I finished it at like 4 something in the morning. I couldn't stop. You remember you were saying the other day? You were saying, but you spread it out more so you make it last longer. Well, that's easy to be to say. Not so easy to do.
No, it's just like the ice cream in the container, right?
Yeah, it's like, maybe you should save some of that ice cream for later. You're like, I should.
I should
save this. I'm going to save me some of this ice cream. Oh, man.
So, not to derail too much of Cobra Kai, but it does get repetitive, I think, when you're watching all the episodes back to back to back. It's better but the show is so well done. I'm sure we'll talk about it.
Yeah, but they know how to hook you, though.
They hook you, yeah. And the last 2 episodes, really well done.
They know how to make, even if you're having some issues, once you get to the last part of an episode and you're like, oh, God, I can't stop.
They just did that.
Yeah. And I'm just elated that the 4th season was, still, to me, there was no real drop in quality because I was concerned about that. It's still really good. So we have
great Johnny. Yeah, we'll talk about that. But fantastic Johnny lines. It's I love the line when he's like trying to recruit some girls to Eagle Fang, and he says, "Well, we welcome everyone, anyone." And then the one girl's like, "Well, what about gender fluid people?" And he's like, "Well, it's always important to drink lots of fluids when you're practicing karate."
Oh, so fantastic! I love it.
You're just laughing like the Stone Age guy. It's just
no spoilering though.
No, that's not it. Well, it's just a comment.
I know, but it's a line. You know how people are.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I paraphrased it.
You're ashamed of yourself.
Yep. All right. Don't do any karate moves on me.
I will use my karate on y'all.
Voyagers, yeah.
How about Voyagers? Yes, many have mentioned Voyagers. I never really liked that show that much as a kid. I mentioned Time Tunnel on my list, guys, but a lot of people liked Voyagers. That Warner Archive also put Man from Atlantis, that friend I was telling you all about. He's brought it over here, and we've watched it. I watched it as a kid, but he's brought Man from Atlantis over a couple of times. Your Muslim uncle, happy New Year, my friend. I'm glad to see you. He says, up near the Uclubby crew, Space Battleship Yamato 2199 and 2204 if you're looking for new things. No, actually, we're talking about old things tonight, but thank you. And let's see here. Tonight, old things, but I hear you, buddy. Michael Beacom says, Reigns with Goldblum plays a homicide detective who creates an image of the victim in his head who helps him solve the crime like he's talking. Okay, okay. I had never seen that. I hadn't even never heard of it. So there you go. Had you heard of that? I never heard of it.
Nope, I haven't heard of that one either. Nope.
Solomon Kane, Red Dwarf. Yeah, there's some similarities to Quark, but I mean, I'm not sure if Doug Naylor and Rob Grant had ever seen Quark or not.
You're talking Garbage Scout TV show Quark.
Red Dwarf's but Red Dwarf's not a garbage scout though. It's a mining.
Yeah. No, just trying to get my TV show now. Yeah.
Yeah, Quark. Yeah.
That was a one suit. Yeah, crazy. And then
weird.
Matthew Pownard mentioned Take, and I thought that was a great TV show. I think that lasted 3 series on TV.
Why would they do it? It's not even tied into the movie, though.
It's a prequel. It's basically
Yeah, but I know he's Brian.
he's a badass.
Mills.
Yeah, no, he's got a great set of
It's
skills.
early life.
I thought it was good. Yep. I thought it worked. Yep. So.
No, I got you. I almost started to watch it one time just because I like the movie so much.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it had the obligatory computer genius Jennifer Beals, some flash dances as handler. They retooled this for the second season. They kind of redid certain characters and changed the crew up, but it's just a great it's a great concept. So it was that man on a mission, which is fun. So
Never watched it.
Like the Equalizer type character is basically what it is. So.
Well, let me see if I can give voice to some of these because some of these chats for people naming some shows that they wanted to get mentions out there and see. Because some of them I know most of them, but thing is, no one can watch everything. Well,
Nope.
you can, but not me.
I
I remember Best of the West, Phantom Outsider, of course, UFO greatness there, Raymond. I remember When Things Were Rotten. Remember that?
One of my favorite shows is Fox canceled was the Tick live action, which most people remember the cartoon, but Tick live action that would be up the top 5 on my list of canceled shows.
I got you. Well, you didn't. Do you remember this one now?
Nah, I don't remember that one. No, I've got a Google Doc on with all these
kind of
suggestions.
Robin Hood type parody show way before they did Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Oh, nice.
I see.
British humor or
no, it was on CBS or something. I think.
CBS. Okay.
That was in the 80s. Freaks and Geeks. I did watch it, but I remember it.
That's
Jill.
awesome. A+ show. Yep.
I never really got into Terra Nova, but everyone's liking it. So there you go.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, that was with Stephen Lang. Was the
I like Stephen Lang.
Yeah, I actually have a friend through work who's actually good friends with him, which is kind of funny. So
great actor.
Inside scoop on stuff. Yeah.
Earth 2. I didn't watch that, but I know of it. Let's see here. Decepticon says Flash 1990 should have had a second season. We were going to get comic villains like Gorilla Grodd and Weather Wizard. They mentioned them or something. I think. And I thought that show. I watched it at the time. John Wesley's ship was a little bit. I remember that costume aggravated me as a Flash fanatic. I liked the show, okay, but other than the ones like with the Trickster or the Nightshade, I thought the stories were subpar. But it should have gotten another season, so it could have done better with it. He didn't really look like a skinny Barry Allen to me, or like he should. But I liked the show. I would have been fine with seeing more. I did not like the pilot when it came out.
You had Amanda Pays. Enough said.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Yeah. No, I love that show too, and I just couldn't wait for it to be on every week. And kind of at that point too, I was like, just whatever you can get. And I thought the chemistry between her, Amanda Pays character, I can't remember the scientist's name that she played, and John Wesley Shipp was really good. And they did show him,
Melinda?
Melinda, yeah,
Linda. She was from the Flash comic, but I can't remember her name now.
Yeah, and then she was actually on the CW show.
Linda McGee?
Yeah, and then she came onto the CW Flash too. I don't think she was playing the same character, but and they showed him, how he was worn out, and she kind of came up with this suit so he could, run fast, help him to run fast because his sneakers were going through. But it was a fun, and you did have the Trickster, and in one episode he did phase through a wall. It's like, yes, they finally had him phase through a wall, to show some of his powers from the comics, but. It's kind of some of these things are just like a nostalgia thing too, where if you watch it today, I haven't watched that one in years, even though I have the DVDs. I wonder how it holds up, but sometimes you look back more fondly than actually how good the show is.
Eric K is in a sadistic mood starting off the year. I mean, wow. You've already done it to me once, dude. You didn't have to pay. You didn't have to pay to torture me. You could have done it for free. I'd have read it anyway. Thank you for the $2 super chat, man. Yes, I forgot Thundar. I hate myself. I will be Thundaring myself with a sun sword as soon as I get done. I promise.
Were you animated?
Thank you, buddy.
Well, that would be in the animated version, right?
I did some cartoons at first.
You did some cartoons. I was late. Yeah,
I did about 5-6 cartoons. Because I wanted to do the number 22 because it's 2022.
Yeah.
And so I just did 22 shows. There were a lot. I mean, there's as you could, anyone who, and I had to try not to glance at the chat too much because I was trying to concentrate. But if you glance at this chat, there are 10 million shows. Everyone's that most of them they're mentioning does meet the criteria. Remember, the criteria can't be a show you like that didn't last more than a couple of years. It's got to, it's got to have certain criteria. Is cut really, really short. Should not have been ended.
Yep.
Well, and not only that, but it had to be cut shorter than at least 3 seasons. 2 seasons is about the limit.
Yeah, it's like Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles went 3 seasons, right?
Terminator. I don't know.
Yeah, that one. I think it was 3, but yeah, that's one.
It counts. It counts on this, I think. But yeah.
Yeah, but that's one of my other shows that I really wish got some more seasons. But what we got was pretty great. I thought much better than any of the other Terminator sequels. I mean, I started watching the new one, and the sport. Well, it's been out long enough. But when certain thing happened to one main character, I stopped watching it.
It doesn't deserve respect. That movie, you can spoil the shit out of that trash.
Yeah, well, when they off the main hero that the other series has been focused on, like, oh, turn it off. That's it. Don't need to watch this.
I agree, Decepticon. I love that show, and I wish it had got more. And yeah, Mark Leonard was terrific.
And the animated show was good too. Yep.
I'm way back on the chat, so let me see. Yep. What was Steven Spielberg produced? What was that Steven Spielberg produced TV show that had Mark Hamill on? That was probably Amazing Stories. That's what Steve's asking. What was that Steven Spielberg produced TV show? It had an episode with Mark Hamill. Yeah, Mark Hamill was on an episode of Amazing Stories.
Probably the most famous episode of that series was one with the cartoonist and the B-17 bomber.
That was him. He was on that one, wasn't he?
Was that the one? And then it's Kevin. Is Kevin Costner the?
I don't know.
I'm trying, but he draws like he's gonna die. He's stuck. The guy is stuck in the belly gunner position, and he draws animated wheels to land the bomber, so he doesn't get squashed when it lands. It's just such a that whole series is great, but that was a standout episode. Yeah.
Elagable says, I can't think of any canceled series other than those you've already mentioned. Did we miss anything? Or are our minds simply giving out? Well, I'll tell you what, I'll run down them really quick. I'll go fast and rerun them down if you haven't. If you weren't here I'll go real fast. We started with cartoons. We had Star Trek, the animated series. The Silver Surfer. We had Green Lantern, the animated series. We had Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. We had Justice League. We had Fantastic Four Season 2 from the 90s. And in live action, we had The Immortal, QED, The Guns of Will Sonnet, Buck Rogers. Time Tunnel, Now and Again, Alias Smith and Jones, The Human Target, Special Unit 2, Cold Jack the Night Stalker, Police Squad in color. Even though they
do
used
not cross.
that picture is from
I know
Naked Gun anyway.
Naked Gun, yeah.
Battlestar Galactica, Planet of the Apes, Firefly, The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr., and Isaac Asimov's Probe. So there you go. Just to recap those for you, Lagabolas. Let's see, my chat is so far back now. I gotta.
Yep. That's some of those I'd never heard of until you mentioned them. So I gotta look those up. Yeah.
I figured everybody heard of most of them. I was actually surprised.
The Western. What was the
Guns of Will Sonnet.
Yeah, never heard of that.
Dude, the friggin' Walter Brennan is so great on that show. I mean, he's a great actor anyway. But he was just, oh my God, I can't believe that. Westerns usually had long life back then. For some reason, I don't know. And this is one of the most famous actors at the time.
One
season? It was about I think it was 2 seasons. It was 2 seasons. And by the way, I have this, my set of it is in garbage condition. Claude gave it to me. I think, in other words, the episodes, some of them are taken from masters from like that they apparently went around the TV stations and shit that are horrible. They're chopped up. They look like they've been.
Because they got like blanks in them for the commercials.
Yeah,
it's all framed wrong.
Yeah, this set's probably 20 years old or whatever. Whatever.
Yeah, because
it was
they
one
never
of those
came out with a proper set.
Sets. Yeah, what's the name
Yeah.
of that? I can't think of. It's one of those cut rate,
Yeah,
houses or whatever.
they're not bootleg, but they get the rights and they just
Yeah, they're
throw
not
out.
bootleg, but yeah, what is it? I can't remember the name of them now. What I can tell you is they got, for some reason, the last episode of the show never aired, and it was the one that actually had a conclusion. Maybe I don't know if Aaron Spelling or whatever thought that they were going to be ending or canceled and did it, but he actually, and it had, they find the whole episode's about them looking for Will Sonnett's Will Sonnet's son and his grandson's father, obviously, and it was a great episode. It was mythic. I mean, I love the show, and it was on that set somehow. So they said this has never aired. It's like a special feature.
Interesting, yeah. Well, I just looked up. Yeah, they said Timeless Media Group released both seasons on DVD in 2019. 5 disc set. Episodes were taken from prints from syndicated by King World, edited from the original broadcast versions, with 3 minutes missing from each episode. They're transferred from videotape sources and not have been remastered from the original film print. So basically, like you said, it's like a garbage.
Yeah, you said 2019.
2009.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's when I got. I mean, I got them like right after they came out.
So it was legitimate. It wasn't a bootleg, like you said, but it was. Just they didn't spend any money on it. Basically, they didn't go back to the original film,
right?
Because that's a good thing about a lot of old TV shows, like Star Trek, for example, was filmed on actual film. So to make a 4K version, film is actually a higher resolution than 4K. So they have to go back and all they need to do is just go back and rescan it, and the special effects were composted in on film. But the problem with TNG, and they spent millions and millions and lost money, was they had to basically remake all the episodes because they had to convert everything and then redo all the special effects, because the special effects back then, if some were CGI, they were rendered at 480p or standard def. And they have some tricks now. That's what they did with Babylon 5. They upscaled the special effects. They didn't redo the special effects, but the rest of the scenes are in 4K. The person to person or non special effects scenes. But that's why you can get some old TV shows. But later shows, and some like Bosom Buddies, for example, was shot on videotape. So if they ever release a DVD of that's gonna look like crap. Not that it matters that much, but because it was filmed on video, so it's low res. So that's the engineering / geeky reason some of the old TV shows can look so good, even though they're very old.
Well, there you go. Damn. Oliver Belmonte says, let's see, Clobby, Mark D. Ever watched the 1987 sci-fi show Captain Power and the Soldiers of the Future? Yes, J. Michael Straczynski, creator of Babylon 5, actually worked on that show. I don't know if I think he created it, but I can't remember.
I've seen a couple episodes.
Watched it very end. Yeah, I mean, I know of it and watched a little bit, but it was I don't know much about it, but I do know of it, Oliver, and it's very popular. Michael Beacon for $10. Thank you so much, Michael. I really appreciate that. You didn't have to do that. Thank you. He says, Reigns, available on Amazon Prime, $1.99 an episode or $9.99 for the season. In case you want to try, like you have the time. Well, no, thank you. I just had never heard of it. I like Goldblum. Is that relatively newer? Is that fairly more recent or what? Well, he'll tell me. I'm sure if
he'll tell you, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. We got some more. These things pop by so damn fast sometimes on the screen yards. Hey, Catman, a.k.a. Dee Myers. What is up?
Hey, Catman. Oh, let's see.
Eric just likes to be mean. Eric's the Bronze Surfer is on the warpath. Nah, dude, I'm glad you mentioned it, though, because at least it got a mention. My stupid-ass memory, I'm pissed at myself for
just add one.
Forgetting something that I love that much. Yeah, but I would have had to go. I did this all like last minute because I wasn't sure I was going to do the topic that way. That I didn't figure out how I wanted to do it. Hey, Pop Culture Republic, good to see you. I didn't figure out how I wanted to do this until 2 hours before the show. That's so me. It always happens.
That's all right.
Annoying.
Add it in post, as they would say in TV, right?
I'm trying not to let that happen Monday. I expected animated Planet of the Apes to be on Clobberin. No, I mean, I like you might be kidding, but I mean, I like the animated show, but which is more based on Monkey Planet than anything else. I'm going humanoid over you. But I just I like the cartoon, but I like the TV the
That
live
TV show
action
was
show
really
better.
good. Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
Oh, Chris Purge is heading out. Chris Purge, thank you for being here, buddy. Appreciate you, man. And he said, yeah, someone confirmed that you were right. It was Kevin Costner. Thank you, Blinzer, on that episode of Amazing Stories, apparently.
Yeah, usually I don't remember right, but thank you. Yeah. Sometimes I get a few of them.
Cam says, wanted to say what a great show Voyagers was. Too bad about the actor accidentally killing himself. The Golden Monkey, I think it means Tails of the Golden Monkey, was great too. Couldn't chime in when I was picking crab meat for some Maryland blue crab. Well, that's all right, Cam.
Nice.
I'm just glad you're doing better, buddy, and it's good to see you, man.
Yeah, Voyagers got canceled. I think John Eric Hexum, unfortunately, had that accident, and
okay.
I think he was on the TV
There
show, but it was like a spy TV show. What was it called?
It was called
it was like a James Bond type cover up. Yeah.
Mark
but
Hamill didn't last though.
Yeah,
obviously.
it didn't last. But yeah, Voyagers got canceled. But tragically, there was a blank in the gun, and they were in between the sets or waiting. He started playing Russian roulette for a joke and had no concept how the power that's in there, unfortunately. So
was it Jill leaving or was it Chris leaving? Now you said goodnight, Jill.
I thought Jill. I could be.
She was
when the
saying
chat's
goodnight
flying
to
by.
Chris. So yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
That's
Sorry. Well,
whichever one of you is still here, I'm glad you're here, and whichever one of you
whoever's leaving, good night.
Good night. So yeah, well, that's why I don't know. I should never say like when I see someone saying good night to someone. I always my assumption's always they're saying good night because that person's leaving, or they might be saying good night because they are leaving that person and said good night to them. I need to watch that because I can't see this chat half the time moving. Because it gives you a headache, folks. If you could see the way this chat looks from StreamYards, you go, wow, you can't even look at it half the time, or you can, but you got to keep yourself way back from the computer, otherwise you'll get dizzy. It'll just go.
You know what I do? I put it up on YouTube and I pop out the window.
I've thought about doing that. I've done it sometimes.
I put it next to my StreamYard window. So I've
done that before.
Yep.
You can
That's
do
the
that.
engineering tip. Yeah.
So sucks.
So you make your window like not full screen, and then you put the chat to the left of it or wherever to the right. But that way, it's easier to read. StreamYard's chat is not easy, and it's much smaller too. So.
See, you were talking about John Eric Hexum, though.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing I was talking about with A. Lee Smith and Jones. I mean, Pete Duell was such a great actor. I mean, I was telling you, again, I don't know if you've ever seen this show. I don't know if you like Westerns that much, but I love Westerns. And this show was more of a fun-loving type of a Western, really. And they even used some scripts. They used to, look, this was the early 70s. By then, Westerns had been dominating TV for well over a decade. So most of your scripts for shows at this point were rehashed from earlier Western shows that were just using old scripts, retooled them.
Yep.
And there's a couple episodes here that you'll see it. Like you turn it on because I watched it for the first time in a long time, like years ago when I did, and it said script from a teleplay like Gene Roddenberry. I'm like, what? Roddenberry was not working for these guys at that time, but they took it from some Virginian scripts that he'd written and worked on, and some other scripts they worked. There are a couple episodes that are like remakes of Virginian episodes, but this show had more of a comedic thing. And again, this guy, Pete Duell, he was like an up and coming star. He was in a John Wayne film. Oh, which one was that now? Schism, maybe? I'm not sure, but he was pretty popular. And again, his episodes are so good. Like I said, Roger Davis is an okay actor, but you see him now taking over for this guy. And like I said, I can
just
watch.
Can't do it, right?
I can't really watch.
I haven't watched the show, but it was the early 70s, right? So it was really
there are like 15 Roger Davis episodes.
It's not the guy's fault.
The first episode he's in, Roger Davis, they started filming when he died. So there's a couple of shots where from the back it's still Pete Duell.
Yeah.
It's like, but anyway,
I was reading about the show, and they said they Universal basically was forced to continue. They wanted to cancel, put on hiatus, and they were forced to continue it.
Right.
They got criticized. They got
well,
they didn't even give the cast a break. I said they said
no,
12 hours later they were filming. I mean,
well, Roger Davis felt weird. You know why? It's because the opening for the Pete Duell episodes, the opening monologue like this, it comes on and it's got this narration telling this. They do in old shows. Hannibal Hayes and Kid Curry, the two most famous outlaws. Yet in all the trains and banks they robbed, they never shot anyone. Well, anyway, that's Roger Davis doing way before he ever played. He ever thought he would ever play the part. He did the voiceover for it. They called this guy in to play the character. And he felt really weird about it, but he did it for like 15 episodes. And the guy's okay. He doesn't look anything like him, which that's TV for you.
Yeah.
But like I said, in the early 2000s, when I got these again and started watching them over again, and my son, who was at that point, like he was like, I don't know, like 11 or 12 or whatever, we were watching. He really liked the show. He loved Pete Dooley. He really enjoyed it. And when I told him about Roger Davis, he said, because Roger Davis is in a previous episode also playing a pretty good character and a bad guy. So I said, see that guy there? Pretty soon he's going to be playing Hannibal Hayes. And my son was like, I would tease him about it. He was young, I'd say, you want to watch the Roger Davis episode? No, he won't watch. He would never, ever watch Roger Davis. He thinks Roger Davis is the devil because he doesn't want anyone else to play Hannibal Hayes. But it's such a good show. And
that's a shame. Yeah. It's so young. Yeah.
But that one got, there were 55 episodes and only 15 of them were Roger Davis. But who, by the way, there's no feeling sorry for Roger Davis, folks. He was married to Kate Jackson. So
one of Charlie's Angels.
Yeah.
One of the Angels, yeah.
He played a human Cylon on Galactic 1980. I mean, I'm sure he was a nice enough fellow, but yeah, so he's a minor actor. But yeah, I'm just like, he's the devil to my son because he's like, no. But see, when I was a kid, I didn't understand why this show got taken off and got replaced by Kung Fu or something in the syndication when I started seeing it. Again, when it was being rerun or something. And I was mad at Kung Fu because it took the place of this one for a while in syndication. I was a kid,
Yep.
So
Yeah, well, you don't understand too.
Yeah.
But it's business too. They got to continue the show. I mean,
this was this was fairly close to around the time Freddie Prinze Sr. killed himself.
Oh, good.
I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Yep, the comedian. Yep, and he was on the Freddie Prinze show and
Chico and the Man.
Chico and the Man. Yep.
Yeah, but again, they say Pete and his sister said it. He was drunk and he was at home, and he didn't just do it on purpose. He was screwing around with the gun or something. He was messed up. I don't know. And
no one will ever know. You always want to think the best, though.
Right.
But there's really no good outcome either.
No.
Unfortunately, either way. But either way, it's so hard. But that's why you never screw around with a weapon. You always treat it like it's loaded. And I always talk about my dad. He was a gunsmith in the army, Swiss Army, and one of the higher ups, gave him a gun. They would get the officers to give their guns to get cleaned, and it had a round in the chamber. And my dad was a hard ass, so he chewed the guy out. He's like, I could have you court-martialed. My dad was basically like, not in these words, but kept chewing him out and said, he's like, I could get you court-martialed. Basically, shut your mouth. But you never screw around. With anything that could be that dangerous. But that's what we saw that accident that happened with Alec Baldwin, and it's horrible stuff. Accidents do happen, but it's tragic that anyone die that young. So
you have sad. A message in Discord.
Okay, Mr. Angel. Thank you, Mr. Angel, and thank you for setting up that Discord. That was very very nice.
Well done. Thank you for that, Mr. Angel. Yeah, absolutely.
And someday maybe we'll have a Clobberin Times Discord. We'll see.
I'll try. I'll try to get the hang of Discord again for you.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Angel's been helping.
Oh my goodness. Well, speaking of shows that did last a long time, well, see, there's again Star Trek the original lasted 3 years, so it doesn't. I mean, we wanted it to be more seasons, but that's not exactly what we're talking about here. We're talking about shows that every one of these shows, was canceled before its time.
Yeah.
In the case of Alias, Smith and Jones, it was, because you're supposed to like the 3-year cutoff at least. So if it didn't get 3 years, but Nicholas Hammond, Spider-Man.
Yeah, that was short-lived. Yeah,
it was supposed to be a Spider-Man Hulk crossover.
Did that get 2 seasons or 3? Or I mean, the seasons were weird too. There were very few episodes.
There were a couple of the movies or something.
They turned them into movies. Some of the episodes they turned into movies.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it was one season, less than one season, wasn't it? It was like 13. Was it 13 or 14?
Got to. Well, power of Google, as they say. I think it was 2 seasons, but it was very few episodes. You know, like we look at Star Trek. You know, it was canceled so young. You know, three seasons, 79 episodes. So you look at some modern shows today,
Right.
like their full run can be 5 or 6 seasons, and they're like 50 episodes, or because they do the 10 season episode or series, as our friends across the pond say. So yeah, it's you did get a lot more TV per season for the most part back in the day.
Oh yeah, Hungry Boy said and Space 1999 only got 2 seasons, and yeah, that's true, but it was syndicated here. It was made by What they made by ITV over there, though.
I think, yeah.
Yep. And there's a thing I almost wanted. Glenzer, that's one that came. I should have put on my list. Probably I thought about it, and it probably belongs on there. So I'm glad you mentioned it. The original Outer Limits, only 2 seasons. So, and yet that's one thing that's been run a lot, considering that
Oh God,
so
great.
yeah, Glenzer.
Sure, yep.
I dropped the ball by not putting that one on there. That's what I get for not doing my homework. We're not, or at least not doing this far enough in advance. Let's put it like that. Because forgetting Thundor is inexcusable, even though this is. I wanted to have 22 because it's the 2022.
2022, yep.
On first day of 2022, being a cornball. So, but yeah, Star Trek should have got more episodes. Just like Enterprise only got the 4 seasons, it should have got 7.
Yep, I agree. Yep. Yeah, so Spider-Man TV show was 2 seasons,
2 seasons,
but 13 episodes. So
that
I mean,
ain't 2
it's
seasons.
Yeah,
well,
so that's
sometimes weird. It used to be like a 13 season deal. Like Buffy's first season was only 13 episodes.
Yeah,
and that was Special Unit 2 had 6 episodes in the first season, and the rest were considered the second season. I think only 19 total. Oh no, it's the other way around. Maybe it was 13 in the first season, and I forgot how it was, but I know it's considered almost 2 seasons. That's 70s. What's up there, bro?
Hell, 70s.
I can't remember, but I know there are 19 episodes of Special Unit 2.
Yep. That definitely fits the bill for canceled early.
Can you imagine? Take a show like The Virginian. The Virginian was a 90-minute Western. It wasn't an hour Western. It was a 90-minute Western. And they made 30 something a year.
Huh.
But then what they used to do was, I wouldn't put Outer Limits here because it was 2 full seasons of over 30 episodes, each more episodes. Yeah, that's fair enough, Michael Beacom. I hear you. In that case, yes. But see, The Virginian, what they used to do is they had multiple characters and they would split them off, and they would have a Virginian story. His name was The Virginian, and one week, and then they have Trampus the next week, and sometimes it'll be one of the other guys. They weren't always in the same episodes. That way they could get more episodes made. That's why they always wore the same clothes on those old Westerns. And so they could use older footage a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, Virginian lasted something like 8 years, and then the last episode they changed it to The Men from Shiloh. The 9th season is still The Virginian, but they changed the name from The Men from Shiloh for some reason.
It wasn't like every show a Western back in the 60s practically. I mean,
there were
cop show. I mean, it was like that was the huge.
Not every, but there were a lot of them. It was.
I mean, it was
80s,
huge.
60s,
It was
50s,
massive.
60s, it was huge.
Daniel Boone, everyone's wearing the hats. I'm just obviously that's past, before I was born, but just hearing about it or watching documentaries, it seemed like that was, predominant show, the Western.
Yeah. Yeah. It was. But they were huge. And like I said, that's what people wanted to watch.
Yeah, like Bonanza. I remember watching Bonanza.
Hey, watching Kolchak, the Night Stalker right now. I'm going to get that Blu-ray, but there's a Blu-ray that just came out. I didn't get it.
Yep.
I'm wondering, it doesn't have the movies, does it?
I'm not sure what's on it, but it's supposed to be, great quality, really good quality. So like we were saying, like I was saying before about, transferring, the show to 4K or Blu-ray, it's just so much better. Of course, when you have a good story, doesn't, you don't have to have that, but, it does make it easier to watch when you're not watching, some crummy VHS, transfer.
Yeah. Wah, 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 wah. Man, damn it. Virginian, maybe start thinking of that catchy theme song to that. So many cool Western theme songs. They had at least 3 or 4 Western shows that were actually 90 minutes, maybe 2 or 3, not many. Most of them were hour to half hour. The greatest of them all, of course, Have Gun Travel was an hour.
Yep.
Dusty's Trail. Friggin' Steve Mitchell.
So
Dusty's
here I looked
Trail,
up.
anyone? Yeah, you know what that is, right?
Nope.
Really?
Don't remember that one. Nope.
You ever heard of a show called Gilligan's Island?
Oh, I love Gilligan's Island. Yeah.
2 years later, they tried to duplicate that, and they got Bob Denver, and they got Forrest Tucker, I think, and a few people, and it was taking place in the West, but they were a wagon that was lost out there. They were just lost.
Hysterical. Just lost forever in the West.
Yeah, Mr. Angel, I love Bonanza, and Bonanza was great. Gunsmoke, that lasted too damn long, but I love Gunsmoke.
I love Bonanza. God, that was great.
Well, 70s. Look, and he went. Look what he said. He made my list. 70s. We just got through talking. Was he here earlier? He wasn't here when we were talking about this.
No, he jumped in later. Yep.
We just got through talking in depth about this one again, and Pete Dool and all that stuff. I'm glad you know the show. I love the show, man. Now I want to go back and watch them again. I got to get the quote unquote second season. Well, there are 2 seasons, but
see, it would have been more believable if Bob Denver and Dusty's Trail had ended up in the land of the lost with the Slee Stacks or something. But how do you get lost in the West forever? Good. That's
Did
funny.
you know that they're showing Dusty's Trail on frickin' I think what's it, Pluto TV or one of them?
Oh yeah, never seen enough to catch. I'll have to look it up. Yeah.
But they make a channel for a special channel for a freaking show.
Oh, it's got a whole channel. It's had a whole channel. Yeah. That's hysterical. Yeah. So I was just looking up Kolchak Blu-rays. So they released the 2 movies, the TV films, The Night Stalker and The Night Strangler, on Blu-ray in 2018, and then they released the complete series on Blu-ray, released on October 12th, 2021. Blu-ray features 21 commentary tracks, as well as a new interview with writer David Chase. So David Chase from Sopranos fame.
Wow.
So that's pretty cool. So yeah, they I'm sure they just cleaned it up and made it look really, really nice. So that way you get the whole thing on Blu-ray if you want to search it out.
Pleasant Valley, there's the Protectors with Robert Vaughn. There was also the Persuaders with Tony Curtis. There's this site, the site, by the way, that has Special Unit 2 for $10, and I forgot to order it on. I'm gonna hope they still have it. The site I was telling you, I told you about it a couple weeks ago. That site has like Protectors and Persuaders really cheap right now. I used to watch those, or I've seen part of them anyway.
I don't think I've seen those.
A couple of British shows. One of them, like I say, one of them with Robert Vaughn, the man from Uncle. Let's see.
Another thing to add to the list.
Yep. We were always hoping they would put a nice set of Guns of Will Simon out, but they're never going to do that. We were hoping they would put it on the Western channel, because every time they do that, they use, well, not every time, but they used to, like, again, my friend I'm always telling you about, who buys all these old Westerns. I mean, he buys every complete series. He bought Cheyenne. Cheyenne lasted like 7 seasons. With Clint Walker. Did you ever see that show? That was a good show.
Didn't see that one, no.
Yeah. Cheyenne was pretty cool. Clint Walker lasted a long time, but yeah. And he was in the Kung Fu universe, by the way. Steve mentioned Cheyenne was. Remember that stupid show in the 90s, Kung Fu, The Legend Continues?
Yep.
I joke about it. A buddy of mine liked it. I just goof on it a little bit, though, because I'm like, wait a minute. So he's is he like the great grandson of Kwai Chang Caine or something like that?
Well, yeah, because it was so set. So, the other show was set much further in the past. So,
Pop Culture Republic. Yeah, that's a fun. If you can find it, like I said, it's I love it. I mean, again, those characters are the best. Those 2 guys. But don't hate Roger Davis. It's not his fault. I know of the Champions, but I don't think I ever saw it. You were saying what you were saying?
Well, I was gonna say one of my other favorite shows that was canceled after 1 season was Journeyman, where it was
NBC someone else was
show.
mentioning it earlier.
Well, they've got good taste then. No, but that it was just, I mean, it wasn't really sci-fi per se, but science fiction fantasy basically. But the first only lasted 13 episodes. I think, I don't know if the writer's strike did it in or ratings, but just a really interesting premise. And the first episode, his wife thinks he's going totally, the main character, the lead, is Dan is going totally nuts, and what he does, he goes back in time, and he actually buries he takes his wife's engagement ring and a newspaper from that year and buries it under their porch, their patio where they're living, and he digs it up, and it's just such a cool scene when she's like, because they weren't even living there at that point, that time. So it's just a great character reveal to show that he's really not nuts, and it was just a really cool idea, and it was well written, but didn't last one season.
Did I don't know. Again, I know you're probably not much of a. We don't talk about that class. I think you mean Kung Fu: The Legend Continues. Is that right? Is that what he means? I'm not sure what you mean, Steve. But I do goof on it a little bit. I love some Man from Uncle there. Let's see. If you like Alien Smith and Jones, you must have loved not the 9 o'clock news and the young ones too. I bet.
The young ones, yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen not 9 o'clock news, but I have seen the young ones, and I can't see much of a connection between that and the young ones. But I did like the young ones. I remember I used to watch it on MTV all the time. But it never made me think of Alien Smith and Jones. But I do. You're correct. I do like it. Oh, Adam Adamant. Oh, man, yep, there you go. Adam Adamant lives. Thank you for mentioning that, man, dude. British honorary mention for Clobberin. I'm glad you mentioned that because I've forgotten it. Are you familiar with a show called Adam Adamant Lives?
No.
This is freaky. I didn't know about it until 3-4 years ago or whatever. I'd never heard of it. Let me find it. Let me find some pictures of it. Okay, this was a BBC show that was around the same time, not too far from the same time Doctor Who first appeared in 1963. Adam Adamant is he was like this the early late 19th century, somewhere in the 19th, in the 1800s or the year 19, whatever it was. He was a secret agent of the crowd. He's this very Victorian secret agent,
kind of like Sherlock Holmes kind of time period.
Like it was in Victorian London or whatever. Adam Adamant. Okay. Anyway, so it was on YouTube. That's what I said. Someone mentioned it. Okay. Adam Adamant lives. He's this guy who he's fighting one of his villains, and one of his villains captures him and puts him in this suspended animation. And he wakes up, an Edwardian gentleman thrown into he wakes up into the swinging 60s of England.
Oh, so kind of like Michael Myers, and that I'm thinking of a spoof, The Spy Who Shagged,
yeah,
this doesn't need time travel. Yeah,
it's I watched a bunch of them when I first heard about this show. Again, it's BBC, it's got BBC level budget, but it's pretty funny.
I wonder if it's on.
Pretty cool.
I wonder if it's on
YouTube. Had them.
I wonder if it's on BritBox.
No, but I don't think so.
Well, I'll check.
But
no, it'd be fun. No, it sounds like a great show. Love hearing all these suggestions, and instead of rewatching something again, catch out something new. So,
did you hear, or did you know that David Carradine based his portrayal of Kane on Spock? I did not know. I did not. I'm sorry, Steve. I'm not supposed to do that. I didn't know. No, I did not know that. Wow, are you kidding me? Did you know that?
No, I never knew that. No,
I never noted that at all.
No,
but that's cool. That one. Kung Fu was a great show. I mean,
well, I guess that kind of makes a little bit of sense in terms of the, his emotional portrayal at some points. So, from what I remembered about the show, but yeah, that's got a lot of Nimoy in his portrayal.
Doesn't he sort of look like David Tennant? There's a color picture of the guy, Gerald Harper.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
And he makes this modern, 60s girl, and he's all prim and proper. He's like, again, he's an Edwardian.
God, he must have been horrible for him to see all those mini skirts.
Yeah, he was
crazy.
The first episode's got a lot of that culture shock stuff in it.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Well, I didn't know, sir. I didn't know then. Cam. How about Steve McQueen in the Western Wanted Dead or Alive is about? I love that show. I love Wanted Dead or Alive. It doesn't qualify for this topic because it lasted a good while, or at least 2 or 3 seasons. Didn't it? What, 2 seasons? I'm not sure how many seasons. Put it this way: if it didn't last long enough, then it would qualify. Cam, because I'm a big Steve McQueen fan anyway, and I loved Wanted Dead or Alive. That was a great show.
Coolest guy on the planet.
Oh, he's so cool, man. This guy, he created cool.
Yeah.
But this guy was pretty cool too. This dapper gent, Adam Adamant.
It looks good.
And it's kind of cool, but as you can see, it had I think they said, you know how a lot of Doctor Who episodes were destroyed. I think some of these episodes
this got deleted.
Too.
Well, actually, Doctor Who. Actually, I was reading. I've been catching up on my old Who and reading about the old episodes because a lot, obviously a lot of them are missing. But they said actually Doctor Who fared pretty well relative to some of the other. Some series they're just totally gone, wiped from existence. But there are so many Who fans out there. At least we have audio tapes of every episode. And Big Finish, they've been doing animated versions, and once in a while, it's been years since another one has turned up. But they would send the films to be played, say in Africa or in Europe or somewhere, and years later, they've had shows that were sent abroad have actually turned up, and they've actually saved some of them. But some just no one. The videotapes are expensive, so who's going to watch? Who wants to watch this stuff again? They just wrote over the shows. It's just horrible, but a lot of stuff is just totally gone, just erased from existence.
The Adamant box said it's expensive now. Wow. Jill, no, they do have. They're recovering episodes. What they did, yes, many of them were destroyed from the first 2 Doctors. But what they're doing is slowly restoring. They've because of fans. They have all the audio now, and they're taking serials because Doctor Who is serialized, of course. For example, that are missing part 1 or part 4 or part 5, whatever, of a particular serial, and they animating it, and they would, like, let's say you have a 6-parter, because there were a lot of 6-parters back then, and episodes 3, 4, and 5. Or 3, 4, and 6 were destroyed because it kind of went that way sometimes.
Yep.
They would animate those and show the live action was together, and they're doing that a lot right now. And they got a new one out, and I'd like to get them, but they're so expensive. So on BritBox now, they have all the available episodes on there. Now there's some they don't have them all, but they're trying to do that with all of them. But they do have all the audio.
Yeah, so eventually at least you get, even if you get an animated reproduction, but you've got the original voices, so you know how the story went. I was just looking up Adamant. I keep wanting to say Adamant. Adamant. And there's 17 episodes remaining out of 29. Was it 29?
Yeah, there wasn't very many episodes made in the first place.
Yeah, 29 episodes, only 17 exist.
Oh, boy. Michael Beacom says, have to work in the morning and have slept almost as little as you. So good calling it a night and be watching in bedroom, but no keyboard. So good night. Good night. Hey, Michael Beacom, thank you so much, my friend. It is great to see you here. We appreciate you. So thanks so much. Decepticon says, Kung Fu The Legend Continues was shot around Toronto. I remember Carradine being fairly destructive. He was arrested once for busting a window at our local arena Skydome. Yeah, that boy had problems. Oh, it's not right. He had some problems, huh?
No, yep. Yeah. Oh, Hungry Boy saying some say that Adamant took his name in the late 70s since he grew up with the series. Well, that would fit, right?
I've heard it. I actually heard that. I'm not kidding. I've heard that's where he got it from because he was a fan.
That's cool. Yeah.
Oh, see, I don't know. Was it that or was it the Adamant cartoon? There was an Adamant cartoon.
Oh, yeah, yep. That was like a Pink Panther. Wasn't it like the same guys that did Pink Panther?
He was just like a superpowered ant. Watch. I'll show you. He used to say, Adam Ant. Let's see here. Word cartoon, so there's no much like, there you go. Remember him?
Let's see. Oh yeah, anime. Yeah, of course. Yep. I remember that.
So
Child of
he
the
got it
60s.
from
You gotta
one of
remember
them.
that. Yep.
Yeah. So poor old what's his face? Carradine was a jagoff, huh? That's too bad. I've heard that though. Uh let's see here. Now, there was a couple shows that I didn't really put on there, but there was a show again, another Western, because I didn't put a lot of Westerns on there, but you remember the movie Magnificent Seven, not that dumb remake, but of course the real one with McQueen and all those guys. I
The
loved
good
it.
one. Yeah.
But they made a lot of movies after that sequel movies that weren't all that good. But they actually did a TV show around 2000, I think, a TV show based on it, which I actually liked. It lasted 22 episodes or something like that.
On
Called The Magnificent Seven. Did you ever see that show?
Ah, God, I don't think I ever saw that. God,
I actually liked that show.
Wow, something new that you like? Just kidding.
Well, if you're calling 22 years ago new,
Yeah.
Yeah. So this show was actually pretty entertaining. A pop culture, Adamant. That's a new one. You never saw the cartoon Adamant?
Let's see.
That is true.
Magnificent Seven.
Boom, 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 boom. But it had a pretty good cast.
Robert Vaughn, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. Robert Vaughn was in one or two, but this had Michael Biehn, Dale Midikoff, Ron Perlman, Eric Close, and a few other gents. It was obviously deviates from the movie in the sense that the movie kills everybody, as you know. Spoiler alert, but
Oh no.
They get to be magnificent every week.
Yeah.
And they're kind of in one town, But it was kind of a pretty cool show. I liked it. Again, it was different. Michael Biehn was badass on this show.
He's good. No, he's a good actor. Yeah, you realize how many things he's been and how good he is once you look him up. Yep. He's not just Kyle Reese. Yep.
No.
But and also the Seven Samurai. If you want to watch the original, we always say sometimes you don't like remakes, but Kurosawa, look up what the Criterion Collection of Seven Samurai and a bunch of his movies. Can't recommend highly enough. And I always watch them with I like the movies with the subtitles on, because then you get the nuances of the actors' voices. Highlight. My friends and I, I remember watching The Magnificent Seven, and one of my buddies, he was like a film night. He's like, now we got to watch the original. I'm like, what do you mean there's an original? You mean they copied The Magnificent Seven? He's like,
yeah,
they didn't copy The Magnificent Seven, you idiot. We copied the Japanese, But,
they pay, but you know what? They paid to do it. They actually paid Akira Kurosawa to do that. It wasn't like it was just
they did it the right way.
They wanted to adapt it to the Western,
Yeah. But I mean, that was back before the interwebs, and if you didn't know or read, there was really no way to know that unless you actually, research things, or today it's so easy to Google something or look something up, or but my friend were like, oh wow, it's actually really good. So
I love that movie.
Kurosawa is just a brilliant director. Some amazing movies.
I left out Thunder. Thank you, Eric. Damn it, I was kidding. Thanks a lot, buddy. Just kidding. Well, we love you, Eric. You know that bronze wrencher. We love you, brother. That's true. Steve Mitchum, he did. He was buddies with he knew Michael Biehn anyway. Yeah. So I don't know if he knew him that well, but yeah. Hello there, Captain Loco Spock. What's up, bro?
In here, Captain Spock.
Yeah, we're just closing it up here. But yeah, I mean, next week, folks, we will be back with Saturday Night Star Trek.
Awesome.
And we'll be reviewing Trek at this time with my wonderful first officer, Raquel. So, and back to the grind. Back to the grind, folks.
Well, we got some good episodes, though, right? Sometimes it's a grind, but
I think so.
I can't remember next week. Jill had been posting what was up next.
Yeah. I can't remember what they are, but I'm sure we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Again,
Yeah.
I'm still just kind of reeling from Cobra Kai. I'm like, man,
That was a great ending.
it was a great.
That was good,
It
right?
was. It
See
was a
something
great
else
ending
new that we
because
like.
yeah, it was great. I mean, there's something new that I loved. Again, so far, I've loved this whole series. This is season 4. If you can call a candy ass 10 episodes a season, but still,
Yeah. No,
it
it's
was
still.
still it's maintained it. And again, we won't say anything, folks, if you haven't seen it yet. But
Yeah.
you and I were talking the other night, and I was saying I know I'm going to binge that sucker real quick. And you were saying something. You were talking something about like make it last, do it a little bit at a time. I mean, if you can do that, great. I don't know
Yeah.
many people who can.
Well, the problem is too. Then it gets spoiled too if you don't watch it quickly. Like I remember one of the Marvel shows, or I hadn't watched one of the Daredevil seasons. And then what about so and so show? I'm like, I didn't want And then sometimes it's you just watching stuff and you and you hear stuff and it's. But yeah, it's yeah. If you can stretch it out, it's a little better. But it's kind of got a lull in the middle, like a lot of shows. But really ends the last few episodes, and you've always got great writing. Like even on some of the episodes where I thought it dragged a little bit, you still get fantastic,
Yeah.
lines by the character. It just they're so true to the characters. The characters don't do anything that's not, not part. It's them, right? I mean, the writers have a hand on them, so you don't have a character doing something, totally totally out of left field, which we always appreciate. But there are still some twists and turns along the way, of course. But
This are you doing a show tomorrow night? Who wants to know?
yep, I will be, Steve. Thank you.
Thank
Yep.
you. Thank you, Jill. Jill said she put the. Well, there we go. So yeah, there are the episodes, and then listen. I want to address something. This statement confuses me, Phantom Outsider. Oh, Cobra Kai was terrible. 10 episodes. Now we got to wait for a year for more. Ugh, hate that. Yeah, but if it was terrible, then why do you care if it comes on? Did you think it was terrible? I mean, I loved it, but I mean, it's cool if we disagree. But if it was terrible, why do you care about?
Or maybe just the ending was, because the ending. I'm not put
I know I'm just
words
messing
on
with
Phantom,
Phantom.
yeah, teasing, yeah, but could be
I'm just messing with
the.
him.
It could be the, but that's why it's good if if the show, at least if it was spread out, if you watched it over 10 weeks, then it's not as long of a wait, right?
Later,
I mean,
debug. Yeah, I know, but dude, that's I defy anyone to be able to do that.
oh, you can't. Yeah, you can't. I mean,
I
it's
defy
impossible.
you.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you don't if you genuinely don't care for it, maybe you can.
Yeah, but once you start going, it's just it's tough.
Yeah,
I mean,
I was messing with you, Phantom, but he says nothing wrong with the actual content, but the quantity of the content and the time will get. Yeah, no, look, I'm with you. There's not enough of it. Hey, Ninja Night. I'll be on to say Happy New Year, and we'll catch up soon. I would love to. Yeah, man, dude. The Great Ninja Night, folks, please go to his channel and subscribe to it if you have not already. I think I have a link in the description below. I have a lot of links in the description below. It should be there. And I hope you were doing well, my friend, on the other side of the world. I hope your new year has started off well, buddy. It's great to see you, man. Great to see you, man. So, Ninja Night, everyone. Good. I'm just thrilled to see you there, brother.
Happy New Year, Ninja Night. Yep.
So just to wrap it up, I guess.
Phantom saying, no, we needed more, like a regular season of 23
Oh
episodes.
yeah. Look, I'm with you, buddy.
You never get any sleep that way when you binge, though, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but I could break in between that a little bit. I'm with you. I really enjoyed this, but I wanted so much more.
Yep.
Thank you, Elagabalus. I appreciate you, buddy. No, look, I'm with you, man. There are a bunch of candy asses with that. With that 10 episode shite. Captain Moloko Spock says, by the way, real moment, everyone. When I'm not busy being arrogant and opinionated, you all get me thinking. Thank you all. Oh, well, you're too kind. Captain, look, we always appreciate you, buddy. I'm glad you're here, man. It's great to see you. And with that, I'll start try to shout as many of everyone I can for goodbyes who was here tonight. We had such a great crowd. We had, of course, our wonderful communications officer, Anti-Derivative Jill. Thank you so much for being here, Jill. Max Redstone, appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much for being here. Phantom Outsider, bro. Good to see you, bro. Hungry Boy. Looking forward to another year of hanging out, buddy. Kal-El, buddy. Thank you. Oh, thank you for those kind words, my brother. I appreciate it. I had a lot of fun talking tonight, talking about those TV shows and stuff. It was fun for me. let's see. I missed that one. I'd love to have. Yeah, I'd love to have more episodes for any show that in what for me to like a new show is almost miraculous, but we never get enough episodes. But let's see here. Pleasant Valley, thank you so much. Hungry Boy, again, appreciate you, brother. The great Steve Mitchum. Yo, brother, appreciate you. Janet from Another Planet was here earlier. Love you, Janet. That 70s. Appreciate you, bud. Snortapoopas was here earlier. Snort, thank you. Michael Beacom, thank you so much. Matthew Pounder, thank you. Cam, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate you all. Don't want to leave anyone out. But with my dumb memory, you know how that goes.
I can't remember who you said. Did you say Mr. Angel? I'm trying to remember.
Thank you. I did not. Thank you, Mr. Angel. Appreciate you, bro. Because I'm moving my chat upward, so I can't see anything.
Yeah. No.
Oliver Belamonte, thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. Glinzer, thank you. Appreciate you all. Pop Culture Republic, thank you. Comic Relief Crusader, thank you. The great Bronze Wrencher Eric K, thank you, bro. Really appreciate everything you do, buddy. Chris Persia, appreciate you, bro. I think he had to run, but just Decepticon, buddy. Really, really appreciate you. J-Man was here earlier. Thanks, J-Man. Solomon Kane, thank you. It was nice to meet you. Thank you for popping in. I like that name. If I missed anyone else, I am sorry. I think I got them all. Thanks to you. Name is something I missed, but let's see.
Yeah, you always hate to miss anyone, especially Saturday Night Star Trek when you're in the chat and you're trying to remember. Like,
I write those down.
Yeah, no, you write them down, but I'm like, oh crud, did I forget to say goodnight to anyone? Like you feel bad, It's like if you miss anyone. So same thing when you're in the chat. Yeah.
Yep. Well, Max says, don't forget to kneel before Zod. And again, always great to see the great Ninja Knight there as well. Appreciate you, buddy, and everyone. Here is, of course, what's it? What do? Please go subscribe to all these wonderful channels here. The links are below, and I'll double check, make sure they're all there. Actually, I didn't. I said Steve Mitchum, dude. I said you.
Yeah, don't forget Steve Mitchum. Yep.
No, I heard it. I could play it back. I remember saying
Thor will send some lightning your way. Yep.
I'm telling you, I said it.
I believe you.
I can play.
I don't
the
want to
evidence.
get clobbered.
No, I really did. Though. I'm just saying, for me to actually, usually you can shake my memory that much, but I remember saying it, bro. I never forget you, but I'm not saying never. I probably have. I forget everybody. You know that, brother. But not this time. Hope everyone has a great new year. Gotta be better than the last two, right? Yeah, gotta be. My 21, actually, though. I mean, I made a lot of great new friends. So,
yeah, thank you.
Like I said, everyone
meeting you and everyone here has been helped make the year a lot better. It would have been a lot crappier.
Could have been a lot worse. Yeah,
because I found everyone on YouTube about a year and a half ago. I think I can't remember now, but made things a lot better. So. Appreciate being part of this, and always appreciate you inviting me on to chat with you, and always have a lot of fun. So it's really
Purple Valkyrie was here earlier. Love you. Love you, Purple. Shout out to Purple. Show note: Monday night, Mark C. Comics Talk. I will be counting down my 100 favorite comics heroes. Revisiting the list, revised, whatever you want to call it.
Nice.
I know you're all just completely in mystery now. You just don't know. You're mystified.
Just trying to figure out between those two guys, who's one or two.
Who will they be? Who will they be? So, thank you all so much. Appreciate you, and happy New Year to you, my friends. Have a wonderful Pleasant Valley. Thank you, by the way. See, and that's sometimes I do forget and say it twice, but just in case. Thank you, Pleasant Valley. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful rest of the night, and a big shout out to all my wonderful friends. Happy New Year to the wonderful first officer we have, Raquel. I love you, Raquel. And
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year. And in accordance with great TV shows that didn't last long enough, one of the greatest for me was this one. Good night, everybody.
Briscoe, Bowler, I hope to see you in action again soon.
Count on it. Well, maybe after a brief hiatus.
Beautiful country, isn't it, Bowler?
God bless America.
What do you say we put some miles under these horses? You ready, Comet? Let's ride. Yeah!